Think about a medieval lord, right? Everyone's trying to kill him. Everyone's trying to get his money. He's living in a cold castle.
Spooky as hell.
For sure haunted, ghosts everywhere. And you're like, damn, life is hard. If you gave him a chance to be like, hey, do you want to switch with like a middle-class person? They got like a 2-bedroom house, heating, AC, modern medicine. They'd be like, yeah, dude.
It's not even a question.
Dude, I'm doing better than King Henry.
Yeah. King Henry never even heard Nas before.
Yo, that's a good point, dude.
I was listening to the court jester playing the harp.
Mid.
He ain't even seen Forrest Gump.
Dude, there's gotta be aliens, right?
I can't fathom how there's not other beings. How can nothing else in this whole infinite, whatever you want to call it, how can there be no other intelligent life, bro? It's impossible.
P-Rod.
What's up, brother?
Paul Rodriguez, thank you, man. I appreciate you coming through.
My pleasure.
This is short
Thanks
notice.
for having me. Yeah.
Short notice.
Well, I'm glad
but,
we can make it happen.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you,
Dude,
back.
I was, the thing from when you were talking to Noah that was so funny is you telling your dad, yo, I'm going to be a skateboarder.
Yeah.
And then he looked at you, and what did he say?
He was like, son, you can't make any money doing that. You know, and I just, like, I had a flawless argument against him. But I understand, because me now being a father, too, I understand, you know, where he was coming from, because, you know, you just want your kid to be successful. You don't want them to have heartbreak or go through that turmoil that you go through chasing your dream. But you know how sweet it is, too, when you reach it.
It's the nicest.
So, you know, he was probably just, you know, trying to save me from heartbreak and not knowing, like, you have to be really good to make it, son. You can't just have, like, a pie in the sky dream. You got to really, there's a lot that goes into it, you know, and he didn't know that I was about that smoke.
Yeah, bro.
You know?
And you work, I mean, I know you even said, like, bro, I'm lazy. I'm an investor. Like, that's not true, bro. You work hard as fuck. It's crazy.
It.
Like, seeing all the stuff your hands are in, I was like,
Thanks.
dude, it doesn't stop.
You know, I don't like to be bored.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like to be bored, but at the same time, I still think I'm a bit lazy. I could probably be doing more.
Did your mom work growing up?
Yeah, my mom actually, she was a script supervisor my whole life, pretty much growing up. She'd just be on the sets, being the script supervisor. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure what they always did. I think the script supervisor always makes sure, like, the director and everybody's staying on schedule and the timing of the scene is right.
Yeah,
And they're not going over budget and over schedule. So I think she just kind of has to just make sure everybody's staying on.
Was she a script
focus.
supervisor at home too?
No. My mom was laid back. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's laid back.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And how often was your dad traveling doing stand-up?
I mean, ever since I can remember, really.
Really?
You know, I didn't really have a set schedule with him. I would just be whenever, just like he would take me for a weekend here and there. Maybe he would take me if he was going on a cool trip somewhere and he was bringing some family with him. You know, he'd bring me along too. And like I remember going to Mexico with him once, and my grandma came, a couple of my aunts. Went to like Orlando with him one time. Then we went to Disney World, but he was there for something. But then kind of like the trip I'm on now with my daughter. Like I'm there for something, but bring her out with me. You know, like that type of stuff. But it was just I didn't see him a lot, but. You know, he did his thing. When he would see me, he would take me and do cool stuff and, like, you know, make up for it. Like, okay, we got to do something cool if I'm going to see him, you know?
Because would he just be gone, like, on the weekends? Like, was it, like, Friday through Sunday type shit? Or was he gone for, like, long tours?
A little bit of both. You know, there was points where it was just, like, quick weekend, boom, show here, show there. Yeah. But then, yeah, he would go on full-blown tours for sure.
Did you ever consider doing stand-up?
You know, it's like a secret wish of mine, but it's just not there for me, dude.
Really?
Like, you know what I mean? Like I love it. I love stand-up. I watch stand-up comedy all day long. I mean, obviously I've been around it my whole life. Yeah. And got to see a lot of it in person, but like I still watch on Netflix. Like I'm putting on specials left and right.
What guys do you like? Can you think of people off the top of your head?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I kind of more into the, I guess you call it OGs, I guess, of more recent guys. Who am I trying to think? I like, of course I like Fluffy. He's funny. What's his name? Ralph Barbosa.
Barbosa's the man, dude.
He's funny.
Have you talked to him?
No, I never met him, never talked to him.
Bro,
nothing,
he's
but-
the homie. He came on Flagrant with
Oh, really?
with Schultz. Yeah. And he was just
okay.
like, he's just the chillest dude.
Yeah, he seems cool, and he like, you know what? I like his comedy because it's like really normal, modern day shit.
Bro,
like,
that for real.
you know, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the stuff like the kids would know about. Like my daughter would understand his comedy. I understand his comedy. Like he's just speaking of relevant times.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's cool.
So
I'm
I love
actually
that.
curious. Like, is your mom also Mexican?
She is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, you're just a full blown LA
I am.
Mexican.
Yeah. I don't speak great Spanish though. My mother wasn't raised speaking Spanish. She's like second generation here, but she's Mexican. But at that time, I don't know what it was. The grandparents didn't teach the kids to assimilate. I don't know what the whole thing was at
Isn't
that
that so
time.
dumb looking
It's
back?
weird. Yeah.
It's
Like,
like, oh, we want them to fit in. And now it's
Yeah.
like, bro, I wish. Like, my parents did that. Like, they moved from Montreal, from
Uh-huh.
Canada. So my
The
dad
French speaking and all
only
that?
spoke French until he was like 15, 16. Didn't teach me any.
yeah. It's like
I know
man.
nothing. I could barely say my last name. Like,
Yeah,
it's fucked up.
and as a
dude.
kid, I didn't really care. I was just like born and raised here in America, so I was just like, whatever, I don't need it. Like, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But like as I got older, I realized, bro, like I'm really like I would love to be way more in touch with my culture, my
Yeah.
family. There's certain family members I've never had real conversations with because we don't speak the same language. You know?
That's what I was bringing up with Ralph. Like, the reason I love his stand up is like he feels so relatable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's obviously hilarious, but like he's just so like he reminds me of like the like Mexican dudes I grew up with, where like it's not a caricature. Like he's just
Right,
like,
right. No,
he's
he
just
is
like
the
super
real deal of it,
chill,
yeah.
kind of like stoner vibes,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
super funny and witty.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like the kid in the back of the class that like doesn't talk much, but when he talks, you're like, bro, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he just like epitomizes that, so it's like so relatable.
Yes.
Whereas like other guys, you know, like they might be like caricatures, whereas he's just like the real shit.
Right. It's not like he's like doing voices or being super animated. He's
Yeah.
just talking like, you know, like, hey, just like spontaneous, witty shit he thought of, and he
Yeah.
like words it in a way that's like, you're like, that's fucking clever.
Yeah, it's crazy,
know?
dude.
Yeah,
Are,
yeah.
How many Mexican skaters are there?
Oh, now there's tons.
Really?
Tons.
But when you started,
When I started, there was a fair bit. There was a fair bit. I mean, you know, of course, we got Mark Gonzalez, the OG.
Right.
Like, let's see, there was Ben Sanchez, Rudy Johnson. There was Gabriel Rodriguez. Then we got Fabian Alomar. But I don't know if all those guys were Mexican, but those were all Hispanic, they're like Latino skaters, you know?
And is there like a community that happens? Like this happens with stand up a little bit. Like if you happen to be like the one Mexican dude in your town that starts doing stand up and there's another Mexican dude, you might be like, yo, like welcome, like come into my fold, because you're talking about similar stuff.
Yeah.
Does that happen in skating?
I would say it's more so just the fact that you guys are skaters that the community builds, regardless of what your race is, nationality, or whatever. Because like you can go anywhere in the world and you meet some skaters and you guys have something to bond with. So like it's almost like when you're a skater, skating is your race.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a-
That's
in
how it
a
is with
way.
comics too. Like you get a bunch of comics together. There's like a built-in camaraderie.
Right,
Like
right.
you can go places that you can't go with normal people.
Exactly.
And you can probably do it with skaters too. You're like, oh, I know exactly what
Just-
kind of kid you are.
Yeah, and just the conversations you have, you're talking real like technical. You're talking shop, you know.
Yeah.
Like even when I watch comedians in cars getting coffee, and like
Yeah.
Jerry's always talking about like I don't really like hanging out with anyone who's not a comedian, and like they'll just talk about these old school comedians that I've never even heard of before, but I can relate to what they're talking about because it's like me talking to certain skaters like, yo, you remember you know, when Henry Sanchez Pack of Lies video came out in 91, 93, whatever, you know, and you're just talking.
Yeah, immediately they're like, bro,
And
I
like,
saw
yeah,
this
I
part.
remember that.
blah,
Yeah,
blah.
and like nobody else can know what you're talking about, but you guys know you're talking about something special.
It's like a brotherhood.
Yes.
I feel like skating's like interesting for that reason too, because like there's physical pain that goes along with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, yo, we've both suffered.
For
like
sure.
when you're talking to a skater, it's like, dude, we like, oh, you did, you know, like Toro, what, like there was pain that was involved in that process.
Same with comedy though, bro. Going up on stage and bombing, that's painful.
Yeah, that's true.
That's painful. I have so much respect for that. Like I've seen my pop go on stage and come off like feeling so down in the dumps.
Really?
And then I've seen him go on stage feeling like he killed it and like it's the biggest high in the world.
Bro, it's
you know?
for real a high, dude.
Yeah,
Like you see some guys get off stage, it's like they ripped a line. You're like, dude,
Yeah.
fired up.
Yeah, no, exactly. So it's like, you know, the fact that you keep like exposing yourself to that, it could go good, could go bad. I don't know how I'm gonna walk off stage. Like I can relate to that as a skater. You know, you try a trick, you're going out to film a trick. If you land it, you just want to go celebrate, you know. But if you don't, come home with your tail between your legs. You're depressed. You can't think of anything else until you get that trick, and you got to go back and get it. That's if you didn't get hurt, you know, badly. So there's a lot of things I could relate to that. So
Can you talk to me about the first, like, I know obviously coming up, like you're coming up in California, you start getting sponsored. The Nike deal is obviously crazy. Like when you signed with Nike, how many guys were with Nike SB?
there was a handful of guys at that time, and at that time it wasn't even Nike SB, it was just Nike skateboarding. They didn't even put the SB at the end yet. I want to say there was like 6 or 7 guys. It's like Reese Forbes, Danny Supa, I think Uyghur, Todd Jordan, Chet Childress,
But it was kind of like
Daniel
a fringe.
Shimizu. Yeah, it was like a real fringe thing, and that was by design because Nike had tried to do it maybe like 5 years before that, and they tried to come in like Nike style with money and the skate culture is kind of like, we don't care about that shit, man. Like, you don't care about us. You're just trying to come in, make money off us, and that's
Right.
it. So when they came back this time, Sandy Bodecker, who is like really the founder of what is modern day Nike SB, rest in peace. He passed away a few years ago, but he came in and like first did his research, like, okay, what is this culture all about? Who are they? Like, who do we talk to? He hired employees from the industry to help guide him and like teach him about everything, because he was a real guy who was really into art. He was into punk rock, and like the punk rock movement back in the day is probably similar to how skating was. It's like, yo, like we don't want these big companies like we're not selling out to this and that and whatever, and so he kind of, I think he could like see the parallels, and he knew how to approach it, and it became what it is now.
How does it feel like the first couple days after getting signed, like walking into like this big building, you see the Jordan shit on the wall, like you're doing commercials with Kobe, from being that kid that wouldn't submit his skate park because he was too shy? Like you go from that to all of a sudden like rocking with the biggest athletes in the world. What is that transition like, and how do you deal with that emotionally?
Luckily a lot of it was being naive because I was only 19 at the time, and a lot of it I didn't realize until I got into that position, but a lot of it I absorbed just by being around and seeing how my dad handles himself in his career with certain things. I saw how he was with his fans. I saw how he was when he went to a show or he went to go film something, making sure he was on time, he was professional, and just so I kind of just picked up certain things by osmosis, maybe through my pops, but like I was just, the only way I would handle it was just, I was just so joyful. I was just happy and smiling and just thanking God every day. Like, I can't believe, like, you actually heard my prayers. Like, wow, thank you. It was literally just like, I'm dumbfounded that it's happening. Although there was a part of me that like believed that it can happen. Like, I think I can do this. I believe I can do this. But like, when it actually does happen, you're like, wait a minute. Yo, that really happened.
Yeah.
And
the little things you're not anticipating to notice,
Right.
all of a sudden you're like, oh, I didn't even think about what that would be like.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I always envision like, oh, I'm like my name, like I get a shoe or whatever.
Right.
But you don't envision like just a little thing of like, oh, like this person knew me from this part that got dropped, and like, yeah, it kind of fucks with your head.
It did in a great way for me. At least the way I took it was just like, this is incredible. Like, I just couldn't help but be so happy and excited, and it just made me want to skate more.
Yeah.
It just made me want to skate harder and just keep pushing. I was like, well, if I got this far, how much more can I go? How much more can I go? And it's just kind of how I handled it, I guess.
Yeah.
I just was down for every bit of it.
And so from like 12 to 19, you're doing like skate comps, getting sponsored, but just like skating every day pretty much?
Every day. At that age, it was every day. Hours and hours, and basically until my mom said, come inside and eat dinner or go to bed or whatever. Like if it was a school night, like, all right, come inside, do your homework, eat dinner, you got to go to bed. And then as soon as I would wake up, sometimes I would wake up before school and just skate in my backyard. I had this little patch of concrete, and I would skate in the backyard, and then I would skate to school, and then I would skate after school with my friends in the parking lot right there. And then we would skate down the street to the Albertsons grocery market, where I would skate in the back of the loading dock area and learn some tricks. Then I would come back to my backyard and skate in my little area. I had this little rail and little little fun box back there that I would skate and try. And I would just skate until basically I got told I had to come inside or I had to do something else. Or like go to school or go to bed, basically.
And mostly just like street shit?
Yeah.
Like Rodney Mullen type, like just like flips and stuff, or were you trying to do
ground? I was trying early on. It was like just trying to learn Yeah, all my flip tricks on flat ground, all
Yeah.
my like little tricks on rails that are just on a little flat rail, and then like make a little ledge. Try to learn your ledge tricks, and then once I got those better, and I went to a skate park that had like more versatile type of stuff, and then I would try to take those skills up to the next level and build like just it was literally like building blocks little by little, one thing on top of another. Thank God, because I had friends who like they had more balls than they had skills, and they would end up being hurt quite a lot. You
There's
know
like
what I
in
mean?
fighting, like if you got a good chin, it can be
Right.
a bad thing.
Right.
It's like you can take hella punches and
Yeah.
like injure yourself, and then your career's shorter.
Exactly.
It's the same thing. You
Yeah.
got guys that are like, I'm not scared of anything. It's like, well, you might probably
You might
should
want
be.
to think about it. Like
Yeah.
I think God put that instinct in us for a reason, and it might be helpful at sometimes. So yeah, for me, like I was definitely like I'm not a daredevil type person. I'm not like a thrill seeker. So like I was scared. So I would
Yeah.
be like, bro, I don't know if I'm ready for that. Let me just get more. So I worked on like just trying to build my coordination and my balance and my
fundamentals were
skills and
crazy.
everything. So like when I went to try something, even if I was scared, I'd be like, all right, but realistically, though, my chances of succeeding at this are pretty high. I think I'm ready for this now. That's kind of how
You were like prudent, going into big tricks.
Yeah, it would just be like, okay, like Paul, this is the next logical step for you at this point. So
Did you ever see dudes
got
have
this.
like crazy slams growing up that you were
Oh,
like, yo, I might have to take a day off? Like,
Oh, for sure. There's definitely times when friends would slam and it ruined the whole day for everyone. Like,
Really?
if they, if you see a friend blow their knee out and have to, get surgery eventually, go, those type of things, or just a dude sacks a rail, you're like, okay, I'm good.
yeah,
I'm good for the day, but not all the time. It wasn't that often, but when somebody, if somebody hit their head on the ground, or somebody gets knocked out, then you're just like, all right, dude. Anything that gives you like the heebie-jeebies, where you're just like, okay,
Yeah.
I can't shake that right now.
Did you ever catch one that made you like stop for a while? I know you had to get surgery.
Yeah.
But did anything growing up?
Thank God, I was real fortunate, man. I was very, very lucky in the injury department. Like you said, I did have to get surgery, but that wasn't until I was 33. 5
Yeah.
years ago, that was my first major injury. I had plenty of sprained ankles growing up that, takes you out for, 4 to 6 weeks, something like that. But that was my first time being off the board for that long a time. Like I did not literally skate at all for 13 months. But even then, once you start, you're still not really skating. You still, there was still pretty much another year after that. So I was like, okay, I'm actually back skating again for real.
Yeah. Did that time like shake your identity? Like your whole life has
bit.
been skating.
Yeah.
How did it affect you, and what did you do to sort of like work on that?
Well, I just told myself, well, first and foremost, I just prayed like, God, please give me the mindset to be in a positive mindset through this. Cause like, that's really what it is. When you're injured or you're going through any rough thing in your life, you have to know that like, it's just a phase. You're gonna get through it. But when you're in it, you're like, bro, this is never gonna end. Like and it's hard to like stop yourself from going that downward spiral. So I would just be praying a lot, but then I would also just tell myself like, look at how many other guys, friends of yours, skaters that have gone through the same injury or worse, and they're back and they're fine. So if they can make it, you can make it. There's nothing different that's wrong with you that you can't do it. Stick to the program, go to physical therapy, listen to what they tell you to do, and just do it, And I would just tell myself, anybody who's ever chased a dream or looked for, tried to reach high in life and whatever their goal was, they're going to hit these type of times. The bumpy roads are going to happen. So it's your time, bro. This is just part of the journey. So I just would like tell myself shit like this all the time.
Yeah.
And still, you still go through the phases where you're just like, this sucks, never going to end. I don't know if I'm going to ever bounce back and be better.
And what'd you apply yourself to in that time to like stay busy? Like you don't like being bored.
No, I don't, dude. That was a big fear for me too. But luckily, before I got hurt, I'd been going to acting class often, and so when I got hurt, I just would start going to acting class like overtime. Even on days when it wasn't my class, they allow you to go in and sit and watch the other class, put up scenes inside class. So I would just go.
Oh, really?
All the time, just go to class, come home, work on my little scene that I got paired up with a scene partner, get it ready to go to class and try to perform it with my scene partner in class and that type of thing. So I just went heavy in that. And then once I got like out of crutches and out of surgery and I could like actually just walk, then finally I was like doing auditions and stuff like that, and just trying to keep my head in that game.
So you really enjoy the process of acting?
I do. I
Yeah.
do.
What do you enjoy about that?
What I like about it is, one, I just like trying to be somebody else, or, like just like trying to tap into a mindset of somebody who is so not like me. Or, usually like if I'm in a scene at class and the teacher gives you somebody that they want to do, most of the time these characters aren't anybody how like I am.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like get inside their head, like what makes them tick? Why are they like this? How did they get this way? What makes them behave this way? So like, you start kind of trying to learn like the psychology of people.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And then also like I'm naturally like really shy. So it was really helpful to me to like put myself in that uncomfortable position and that vulnerable state of being critiqued and criticized, especially because like I had already learned how to, or I had already, I guess, reached my goal in skateboarding and had gotten used to like being accepted and recognized as somebody who knows how to do this well. It felt weird to like restart and not know how to do something well. But you know what it takes to get to doing something well, and you know how long it takes and what that process is like, and you're looking down the barrel of that road of like, damn, it's gonna take a long time.
Yeah, you climbed one mountain, and all of a sudden you're at the bottom of another one. You're like,
yeah.
Do I want to climb that shit all over
again?
again?
Yeah, I'm gonna suck for a long time.
But it's also kind of fun to like be liberated in sucking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you go to a skate park, you got to be good because you have the fundamentals, you have the skill. Like if you're having a bad day, that's annoying because you know that you could be better.
You have it, yeah.
But when you're acting or doing something brand new, all of it's new. You have liberty to suck.
Yes.
And so you can just show up and like, yo, I flubbed this line.
Yeah.
I didn't do my body right. My blocking was off.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. The hard part was just like accepting like an acting coach looking at you and be like, what the fuck was that? What were you even thinking right there? And you're just like, well, I thought this. No, that's ridiculous. And then they would point it out to you and you'd be like, you're right.
Yeah, that's a good ass point, dude.
Yeah. I need to take this back home and rethink this.
Yeah, that's a question mark, not an exclamation point. My bad.
Yeah. So like it's humbling, but it was really fun. So that kept me occupied.
What's a character you got into that you really liked?
What scene did I do? I played Christian Slater in what was that movie called with Gary Oldman way back in the day?
True Romance?
True Romance. That's what it was.
Okay, so you're playing Christian Slater?
This is just an acting class, They paired me up with one person.
But you are him.
It was my homie Alan. And
how do you know Alan?
Through acting class. I met him in acting class. So
he's just another actor.
Yeah, he was another actor. And they paired us up. And he played the Gary Oldman character, and he did it so well because Gary Oldman's character was like kind of kooky and weird, and like I was going there and trying to be like, there's a scene where I'm trying to get him to like, I met this girl, I fell in love with her, she was I think like a hooker who worked for him, he was like a pimp, and I'm like trying to pay him off to like let her free, and he's just like crazy like gangster pimp kind of dude, like, and I'm trying to be tough with him, but then Alan really like got into the scene. He really like brought that like weird quirkiness to this character. Because if you ever watch this character, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
He got the accent?
He did, and we were doing the scene. We got so like we ended up actually like wrestling on the ground and shit. And like I remember the class laughing and busting up. But I don't know if it was because we did good or it's just that we just got so into it that it was just became like hilarious.
Yeah.
Without trying to be hilarious, but that was a really fun one.
Bro.
There's a few different ones that were really fun. You're making me miss it. I haven't gone since the pandemic, actually.
Oh, shit, because that ended all the in-person shit.
It did, and then when it came back, I was healed up and healthy, and I was skating like crazy again, and I was like, I just need to focus on skating right now. But it's that going through these stories is making me like want to go back.
Wait, what's the worst bomb you had in acting class?
Oh, one that like got me the most was my acting teacher. He was this guy named Aaron Spicer, and he's like Will Smith's guy and Jennifer Lopez's guy. Like every time they do a movie, he like is off for like 3-4 months with them wherever they're at. And he gave me a scene to do with this other guy. It was from Good Will Hunting. I was being Ben Affleck, and the other guy I was paired with was being Matt Damon. And I was working on. I was like super focused. I had a friend from Boston, and I called him. I was like, "Yo, let me just talk with you a while. I want to try and get the dialect and the accent." And I was just trying to do my best, right? And we started up. We did the scene, right? I'm like feeling good. I'm like, okay, like I prepared for this. I did all my character work. I'm worked on my accent. I'm like, okay, I think I can do this. Get there. We start maybe 20, 30 seconds in after I say a few lines. My acting teacher's like, yo, hold up. Stop. I'm like, he's like, what are you doing with your voice? I'm like, just trying to talk like I'm from Boston. Well, you're not. I'm like, oh, all right. Well, I was just, you never, you can't get there if you don't try. He was like, no, like, he's like, you're getting ahead of yourself. And he had a good point. I can't remember exactly word for word say, but his point was like, look, it's all, I related it to skateboarding. It's like, if you just learn how to do a trick at this level, you're not going to take it to a 10 stair and jump down. So the way he was saying is like, you're just learning the basic skills of like character work or learning how to like just do the character breakdown, scene breakdown. Save all the extra, like the accents and that type of stuff for like, once you get this foundational part down, And I was just like, okay, yeah, good point. Like, but it just like, I felt so for a second I felt belittled, but after you get your ego out of the way, you realize, okay, it's my teacher. He wants me to be better, but he was a straight to the point guy. So sometimes you're like, ugh.
Bro, how bad was the accent, dude?
Park the car in Harvard Yard. I don't know. I was like,
that's not bad.
Park the car in Harvard Yard.
Yeah, dude, you fucking got that shit, dude.
Yeah, the cops are coming.
Bro,
yeah, I was trying to do, that type of.
You're from Newton. Dude.
I appreciate it.
You fucking killed
so I thought I was doing all right,
yeah.
But he was like, nah. And
bro, that's so funny. And how long into the scene did he let you go?
Not too long, maybe like a few lines. And this is because like normally we would your partner and you would do the scene at least 3 to 4 weeks in a row because they would give you notes the first time, bring it back, and you would bring it back till they tell you like, okay, I think you guys are ready to move on. So this was our first week, and I was like, really trying, like, okay, I feel like I can do this one. Yeah,
I'm ready, bro.
I did my work, and right when you think you did your work, you didn't do your work. Yeah. But it's good because that just makes you like, it trains you to like, okay, leave no stone unturned, and like I really understood how hard acting is like, and people, I think, because some of these great actors, they make it look so effortless and chill, and you're like, oh, I could do that. No, you can do an impression of this person after they've already did the work of creating the character, but like, do you know what it takes to create a character and be a character? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's like skating in the sense that like two people can do a trick, but one person is way more fluid, like so steezy that everyone's like, oh yeah, like the easier you make it look, the more people think they can do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you see actors that just like kill that shit and you're like, come on.
And also on top of that is like, what people I don't think realize is the actor has to take writing off of a page and like really use their mind to bring that to life. Like you just like how you said with skating, two people can do the same trick, but not only that, like one kid can grow up, watch his favorite skater do tricks, and he can learn those tricks, sure, and he grows up to learn those tricks, but your favorite skater, whoever you're talking, he had to like create that. He had to like use his creativity to like invent that stuff. And now you're just carbon copying what somebody did. Like I can learn how to play a Jimi Hendrix song off a YouTube tutorial, but Jimmy had to think of that shit,
bro,
from here.
I always describe that to people. I'm like, it's one thing to be good at chess. It's another thing to invent chess. Right. You're like, how do you even think of that? It's like an insane feat.
Yeah.
But what's the dream role? Like let's say the movie hasn't got made yet. They're about to put you in it, bro. You could do some Vince Vaughn shit, low-key. You got like what is that movie, Swingers?
Oh, that was a funny. I did a scene in Swingers
did
actually
really?
once. Yes, and it was the same shit that happened. I was like, what are you doing, dude? I came in totally like with a total different take on it.
This is a theme for you,
and
bro.
I hadn't seen Swingers yet. It was always movies that you do that you're not. The goal for class is like they didn't want you to have seen the movie already,
because then you're just gonna do an imitation of the movie.
You gotta try to create your own feeling of it, your own version of it. But I did that. I mean, that'd be cool. I'd like to do some. It'd be nice to do some action stuff. You know, I wouldn't mind playing one of these Marvel characters, or I wouldn't mind doing some like Jason Bourne type shit.
Bro, they need a fucking Mexican superhero, dude.
No, they got one coming out.
Wait, who?
What's his name? Jolo. He plays on he's on the new Karate Kid series.
Oh
but
shit.
He plays I forget. I feel bad. I don't want to mess up the name because I want people to go support my
bro.
Mexican homie. It's like the Blue Beetle or something like that. I think it is. It's just coming out right now.
That should have been you, bro. No disrespect to him.
Nah, he earns that. He deserves that.
But bro, you've been doing acting classes for 6 months. Like you deserve it.
No,
dude.
I did a solid 4 years straight. Don't get
4 years?
Twisted. Yeah,
that's crazy.
I did 4 years straight. But then once the pandemic hit, man, and the class shut down, I hadn't gone back since it reopened.
I feel like you could probably do some stunts and shit. Like you could probably can you backflip?
Yeah.
Like I feel like you're acrobatic. Like
I can backflip.
You
can
do all that shit.
That was actually my first dream I ever had. I remember being a little kid. And I went on. My dad used to be on this series called Hardball, and he brought me on the set one day, and it was a scene where my dad was a cop. Him and a cop, he had a partner, and they would like go fight crime, and so they went to go like catch this bad guy in one scene, and they went to his apartment building. They caught him. He started running. He ran down the hall. He jumped through a glass window and out the building and ran off. And I got to see them do that stunt, and I didn't know that like there was a thing called candy glass. Like there is this fake glass that he jumped through so he doesn't cut himself. And I got to watch the stuntman like jump through it and do a tuck and roll. And it was so cool to me that when I went home, I like got a bunch of cardboard boxes, set them up, and practiced diving through them. Like it was like I was just trying to copy what he was doing.
I thought you put your head through some glass.
No. I wasn't wild.
Say, dude.
And then like I would have my mom. You know, I loved Bruce Lee's in martial arts film, and my mom would take me to karate class and all. So my first dream was like I want to be a stuntman in TV shows and movies. And technically, I am a stuntman now.
I mean, you picked the better version of a stuntman.
I like to think so. Yeah, I like how it evolved.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But dude, stuntman is kind of a sick job.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Stuntmen do the coolest shit.
I mean, sometimes though, like I don't realize that they're actually doing the pain part.
Yeah.
Like you ever see like the BTS of the stuntman like falls down the stairs?
Getting smoked.
He just truly falls down the stairs.
Yeah.
And if he happens to die, they just get a new stuntman.
It's crazy.
Like, they just keep on filming,
dude.
Bro.
It's crazy. But did you see the footage of like Tom Cruise doing his own stunts?
Oh, with the motorcycle off the ramp?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
He did it 5 times.
The Grand Canyon.
Did it 5 times
in the same day.
It's insane,
dude. In what was it? The most recent Top Gun.
Yeah.
When he was hanging off the side of the plane, flying, like he was really on the side of the plane.
They showed like the side by side,
Yeah.
and you like normally when you see the side by sides, it's like green world and then real world, or like the world, the CGI shit. His was just like a fucking insane Top Gun scene, and then like the same scene basically, but like there's some trees on the ground. Yeah, like that's the only thing they got rid of.
Yeah, he's psycho.
But I'm also like, bro,
and he's like 60.
It's so like, is this not risky, dude? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as you've gotten successful and like more money, like more shit to live for, is part of you like, bro, I don't want to do all this risky shit?
Not necessarily, because I was never like a super risk taker. I guess I was a little more calculated. But no, it's more so just like if my body feels good and I feel in the right mood, I'm at the right spot, the right time, I'm gonna try what I think I got. You know what I mean? Like that's always just the love. I guess over time you just program to be like that. That's how your mindset has evolved over time. But you know, on some days when my body's aching, my knees or my ankles are aching, I just feel like I'm gonna shatter. You know, so I'm like, I just don't got it today. But you got to know when to pick and choose your moments more wisely. But I just think, you know, guy like Tom Cruise, man, he just, I don't know if has he always done his own stunts, or did he recently just start?
No, I think he's always been that way.
Because I feel like it just recently became a thing that we knew this. I don't know.
Yeah. I think the stunts got crazier.
For sure, right? I know Jackie Chan, he's always known for being his own stunt guy.
But even that shit, like, it's crazy. Like, obviously, like...
But it ain't what Tom's doing.
Bro, parachute base jump off with a motorcycle. How many motorcycles they got? Like, that's crazy.
They must have had 6 or 7, however many times he did it.
Right?
That shit
Yo, this is a wild stunt. Would you do your own stunt if it was a sex scene?
Yeah.
With a man?
Oh. You know what? That was anytime.
Would you kiss a dude in a scene?
Actors class, dude. I don't know if I'm that serious about the craft yet.
Bro, you're a fraud, dude.
I don't know if I'm that serious.
Once you do it for 6 years,
but
once you
that
do
was
6
like,
years, you will.
yeah, that was like a question. Everybody kind of like, are you down? Are you not down? Like don't get this. I don't want this to get twisted that I'm anti anybody or what they're into. It's just not my thing. But yeah, dude, I don't know if I can bring myself to that.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't know. I don't know if I got it in me, but who knows? I don't know. Maybe if it was a role of a lifetime, and
if it's Brad Pitt.
Oh, for sure. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I don't know, the sex scene. Even if it was with a chick, but you gotta be fully like butt ass. I feel weird about it.
Of course, I would be weird about it for sure, but I don't think you I think they have some stuff there to block it.
Yeah, like no schlong, but you still got ass out though. The cake is on screen.
I'm confident in my cake.
Dude, are you the cake boss, dude? Are you Buddy? You're Buddy the cake boss, bro.
No, I'm just playing. Like, I was just trying to be funny, but yeah, I would be totally nervous and shy about doing like a sex scene.
Yeah, that'd be a whole thing. And then like, do you have a girl?
I do.
So,
I
like,
recently just got one.
She comes to the movie.
Well, she's an actor too.
Oh shit.
She's actually like a proper act, like a working actor. She actually works at it. Me right now, do
you live vicariously through her? She does scenes, and you're like, bro, let me get these sides. Let me read some.
Nah, I mean we're really new together, but no, I haven't like gone on set or see her do her thing yet. You know
really?
What I mean? But yeah, so she, I'm sure as she consistently grows in this field, she's gonna have to inevitably do a kissing scene or more. So I just gotta I gotta just
You seem stoked about it, dude.
It is what it is, man. You know what I mean?
Go chase your dreams. Go ahead.
I'm not one to
you just gotta do a crazy trick the same day. Be like, oh, you're gonna do a kissing scene? All right. I'm doing a 20-step rail misty flip. Just invent some crazy shit. I'd be like, yo, I'm going skydiving. Cool. Yeah. And then just make it even.
I just made history today,
Yeah, just make it even.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
There you go.
Blow your knee out. Be like, now you gotta take care of me.
Nah, I don't want to do that. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm mature. I get what it is. It is what it is. It comes with the territory. I know what I'm going in, what I came into, and it is what it is. So
that's cool though. That's dope.
No, I'm stoked. I mean, she's like killing it, like just doing really well.
All right, best actor in the world. You can give me a top 5.
Best actor in the world,
or actress.
It's hard to say. There's some great ones. Some of my favorites are if you're talking like actors like Christian Bale, who really transforms himself. I really love Johnny Depp too. He's like, he does some of the coolest roles, and he's so versatile. Angelina Jolie, of course, great. Why am I drawing a blank? I love Tom Hanks,
dude.
Forrest Gump's my favorite movie of all time.
Kind of slept on, maybe. I feel like because he hasn't put anything out in the last like 4 or 5 years, it's been like a banger. Like,
yeah, maybe.
You look back at his work and it's like, dude, he's done
incredible
everything.
Yeah.
Like, how many movies has he been in that you don't even realize? You're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Catch Me If You Can.
Oh,
sleeper classic.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, super. I mean, dude, from like I said, Forrest Gump is legit my favorite movie of all time.
Favorite movie ever
of all time.
How old were you when you saw it?
Well, it came out in '94, so I would have been 9.
And off rip, you're like, this is it.
Dude, I remember one time I had a friend of mine. He stayed over my house for the weekend, and every single night we watched it. From beginning to end every time, and it's just amazing. I don't know.
How many times have you seen it now, you think? Easily 100.
Easily in the hundreds, for sure. For sure, hundreds. Like, I don't know if I'm 200 or more, but like, it's well into the hundreds. Every even if it's just like randomly on TV, whatever point in the movie is, I'll just leave it on and watch it.
Have you ever met him?
I love it. Never met Tom Hanks.
Oh, really?
No.
You'd be starstruck though.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be like up there, like all-time great.
Yeah, he seems like he'd be cool as hell too.
Dude, he seems like a cool hang, right?
Yeah, he seemed like he would be like a type of one of those stars that you can just talk to, like, hey, what's up?
I've
dude?
listened to a couple of his pods, and like he's just like he's been on a couple of people's podcasts. He's just like so funny.
Yeah.
Super quick.
Yeah.
Just like a comic almost. You're like, oh.
Yeah. For some reason, I had thought he had a background in comedy, but maybe in comedy acting. But yeah, I think he's great. And also, Oh my God, why am I drawing a blank on one of the most famous people in the whole entire world? Oh my God, I feel silly. Iron
Who?
Man.
Oh, Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I feel so silly. I blanked on his name.
I mean, he's a legend.
I love him.
I mean, his whole story is so crazy.
Incredible comeback, incredible
Yeah.
everything. Like he's awesome.
But you like that superhero show? Have you seen Guardians of the Galaxy, the new one?
Not the new one, no.
Bro.
The first one, right? There's only one, right? Yeah.
How many? Shub, how many are there? Just 3?
Oh, geez. Maybe the first 2 then I've seen. But,
Yeah, the new one is crazy. Yeah, you gotta watch it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're gonna like it. You gotta be in one of those. I'm telling you.
I'd love that shit.
That's the level up.
But I'd have to really get on my game, dude.
Would you want to do a skate movie? I feel like that's like the obvious.
I did do one.
Oh, really?
It was called Street Dreams. Back in 2006, we shot it. But that was before I actually really had a desire to act. My friend Rob Deerdick, he wrote the film. Him and a friend of his wrote the film, and he wrote the film with me and mine as the main character, Derek Cabrera. And I was like the lead in that. It was like Rob funded it himself, got into it was like small theater releases, and it's like, you can just look it up on YouTube and watch it. It's just like a little classic skate, boy with the girlfriend, not supporting his dreams, so he leaves her. The parents don't understand what his dream is, so he's at odds with his parents, and he just wants to make it, and his homies believe in him, so they get him to this contest, and he does stands out, and he makes a career out of it, that type of
That's cool.
story. It was cool, just but as far as I think I got that out of my system, I think I would just want to try to do roles, stuff that's completely separate from
outside of it. You like being someone new.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone different. But I figured that came from your dad. Seeing him act a bunch, kind of lit that spark for you.
Yeah, that definitely, it was laying dormant in me for a long time, because I got to go on a lot of movie sets, meet a lot of celebrities growing up, watch him do his thing throughout the years. So early on, him and my mom wanted me to do it when I was young, and they got me a little manager and an agent.
Oh, really?
My mom would drive me after school to auditions, but I was like, after the first few auditions, because we lived in the Valley in LA, and you'd have to, every time it's to Hollywood or something after school, we got to sit in the car, traffic. I hated it. I told my mom, I don't want to do it no more. She was like, just come on. They got you an audition. We got to go. And I would go, and it got to the point where I would just go in there with a little bad attitude and just be grumpy. And I remember one time a casting director was like, why did you come if you don't want to be here? I was like, because I had to.
Hilarious.
and they're like, well, don't do this again. Don't waste anybody else's time. I was like, okay, fine. And so I finally temper tantrum my way out of it, and I just wanted to play with my friends. I didn't even skate at that time. I just wanted to go outside and play basketball, run around.
Baseball and shit.
Yeah, I was an active kid.
Yeah.
I wanted to play. I didn't care about doing all that,
What's up, guys? We're going to take a break really quick because I have to talk to you about your bad habits. Yeah. Me, like a lot of people and my friends, we got some bad habits that we probably shouldn't be doing, some things we're putting in our bodies that might not be good for us. But maybe there's a way to take the bad out of habits. Maybe we have habits that can be good, and that's why I want to talk to you about Fume. Fume is an award-nominated device that is extremely innovative, extremely cool, and it does exactly that. Instead of electronics, Fume is completely natural. Instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air. And instead of harmful chemicals, Fume uses all natural, delicious flavors. Now check this out. Fume is a sleek, beautiful little device that you can hang with, walk around with, twist it. It feels cool to fidget with. It's literally like a little fidget device. And then when you breathe in with it, you're breathing in flavored air. That's right. I like the mint flavor. That's my favorite flavor. I use it all the time when I'm walking around, and it keeps me from doing the bad habits when I replace them with good habits. That's why I like Fume, because I'm able to replace my bad habits with habits that I'm free to enjoy with no guilt, no anxiety. It's actually the opposite of anxiety. When I breathe in the Fume, I actually relax. It's a great way for me just to kind of bring my anxiety down. I'm gonna be honest, the first time I tried Fume, I was like, what does that even mean, flavored air? What? And then as soon as you try it, you go, oh, that's what they're talking about. It just fills your lungs with this awesome minty flavor that makes you feel refreshed. It's a great way to relax. I really love it. Stopping is something that we put off because it's hard, but switching to Fume is easy. Not only is it easy, it's enjoyable and can even be fun. And there's no reason that can't be you as well. Why don't you be 100,001 person to stop a bad habit? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to tryfume.com and use the code Gagnon, Gagnon, to save 10% off when you get the Journey Pack. That's right, the Journey Pack. This is one of Fume's greatest packs that they put out. It's awesome. It's got everything you need to start stopping bad habits. That's tryfume.com, Fume, F-U-M.com, and use the code Gagnon, Gagnon, to save an additional 10% off your entire order today. Replacing your bad habits does not have to break the bank. Use the promo code Gagnon at tryfume.com to save 10% off when you get the Journey Pack. Now let's get back to the show. What's up, guys? We got to take a break real quick because I got to tell you about your new attorney. That's right. Let's say you have an accident. Let's say you have someone stay at your home, and then they go in your shower, and then maybe they do something nefarious in there. Maybe they pleasure themselves. Now the shower is full of liquid, and then you slip. What should you do? Should you out them on a popular podcast? Should you talk about it to everyone? Or should you call your attorney? Don't let people pleasure themselves in your shower ever again without getting an attorney. That's right. You could slip, you could fall, you could crack your elbow. And who's going to be there when you crack your elbow? If someone ever does that in my shower, I could check out Morgan & Morgan. That's right. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest personal injury law firm, over 100 offices nationwide, and more than 800 attorneys. That's right. Morgan & Morgan is great for 3 reasons, okay? Let me tell you. Trusted, national. They're everywhere, okay? A lot of people have used them. That's a fact. Secondly, it's so easy to submit a claim. You can submit a claim 8 clicks or less. It's like ordering food or like buying something on Amazon. Who knows? It's so easy. You can submit a claim. You don't have to go through all these sketchy attorneys, go to all these websites. It's a hassle to try to find someone that's going to fight for you. But fortunately, I'm telling you about the best attorneys in the game. Number 3, Morgan & Morgan won't charge you unless they win your case. That's right. Their fee is free unless they win. There's no reason you got to be blowing all your stacks like Demo. You don't got to be blowing all your stacks because when you're with Morgan & Morgan, you don't pay a single cent unless they win your case. That's a pretty good deal. 3 reasons right there. Trusted, easy to use, you don't pay anything unless they win your case. What else do you need to know? So, if you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/Gagnon. That's correct. For the people, forthepeople.com/Gagnon, Gagnon, or dial #law #529 from your cell phone. That's for the people, forthepeople.com/Gagnon, or dial #law #529 from your cell phone. 3 reasons right there. This could be your new attorney. Now let's get back to the show. What were the other benefits of skating for you growing up, like, that drew you to it? Obviously, skating was fun. Like, you saw people doing it and it looked cool. But, like, were there other perks to it? Like, did girls like it? Like, did it give you a sense of, like, community? Like, what was the element that really drew you in?
No, man. I just thought this shit was the coolest shit ever. I just thought it looked amazing how guys could flip their board, land on it, keep grinding on something, and then roll away. I thought, this magic. It was like, in my mind, it was like magical. It was like superpowers. So I was like, I need to learn how to do this. It just was calling to me. But no, it wasn't like in that era, nah, girls didn't give a shit. They didn't look at you one way or another because of skateboarding. I did like the style, the clothes, the shoes, like the artwork on the boards. Like looking in the magazines and like the cool photos, how cool these guys made these tricks looking in photos. But really, it was just the feeling of what it felt like when I would ride my board. I couldn't get enough of it. It was just such a pure joy that it just, for whatever reason, it just resonated with my soul. And I just was like, all right, this is it.
Is there a big stylistic difference both in like culture, but also like the style of skating between LA and New York?
Hell yeah.
How does that manifest?
When I was coming up, it was a stark difference because LA, we have these real specific type of schoolyards with these specific type of fiberglass benches and tables that you only find in LA. They're nowhere else in the country. And we have sunshine all year round. Weather is good. So growing up in my generation, there wasn't a lot of skate parks yet being built. So we learned tricks out in the streets all year long. We never really had a reason we had to go indoors to skate. In New York, a lot of the skaters I would notice from the East Coast in general were really good also at transition, like ramps and mini ramps and skate park stuff, because half the year it's cold as hell and you have to go inside. So like they would be learning how to skate ramps and shit when they would go indoors. and it was like you would notice there was a real different style. And the streets out here are much more weathered, much more rugged. So like early on, I thought the skating in the East Coast, if I'm being honest, I thought it was a lot more simplistic. In the West Coast, it was like more technical and advanced. And like I thought all these dudes, like all these guys that came up from the West Coast, like were the best skaters ever, which a lot of them are. But then when I first came to New York and I tried to skate the streets, I couldn't do anything. The ground was so rough, so rugged. All the spots were so difficult to skate. So after I came to street skate in New York for my first time, I had a whole new respect for all the East Coast skaters I ever had watched in video. I went back and watched a lot of the stuff and then realized, wow, that's actually insane what they're doing.
So that's really interesting.
Yeah, but nowadays it's starting to be really, I think it's evening out everywhere because of the internet. Like Europe is really big with skating, you know, right now. But I think the internet and these kids these days, like they see so much content, so many different type of skaters, so much. They're just getting like they're downloading so much information, and they're able to just this generation of kids is just like they can do everything, they can do anything. These guys are like incredible. So it's really starting to like. They call them ATVs, all-terrain vehicles. There's certain skaters who are all-terrain vehicles, you know, like I think like, in my opinion, a guy like Ishad Ware was like one of the first of that type of skater who can do anything. You can take him any spot, any kind of ramp, take him to a handrail, to a ledge, manual pad, any type of thing, and he'll figure out how to like just do the most amazing stuff there. Whereas, like, in my generation, it was, like, either, like, nah, that shit's whack, we do this. Nah, that shit's whack, which is a really small-minded mindset. And to this day, I am limited in my skating because of that, you know?
Because where you were growing up culturally, like, what things did you reject?
Like, we didn't ever watch. If it was somebody was skating a ramp, like a mini ramp or a vert ramp, didn't even watch it on the video. Just skip. Go to the street spot, go to the street part, I want to see so-and-so, and you just knew what you were looking for. Where I think the kids now, I don't think they have that mindset. I think it's more and more becoming just like, just show me skateboarding, anything. I want to see it all. Yeah. I just want to see what people are doing. Yeah. Like for me, growing up was just like, no, I just want to see this. You know, so.
Do you know there's a big cultural difference across like countries? Like there's a lot of Japanese guys now that are like really coming up and that are really impressive. And I'm curious, like, is there something about like, I just know Japanese people culturally are like so precise.
Yeah.
They create some of the greatest things ever.
Yeah.
And like, it's just like so perfect. Like everything's so manicured the way that they create different things, whether it's like knives or, you know, television, whatever, like what they've created, there's so much purity in it. Do you find that in skating also?
I definitely do. I feel like for me personally, my relationship with skateboarding, definitely, especially coming up in my younger years and in my heyday, definitely like almost like a Zen kind of meditative state to it for sure. And I think it's really cool to see how the Japanese culture is really excelling in skateboarding right now. And I think probably that upbringing of like that discipline and that like respect and honor that you give to your craft, I mean that's going to help you to excel in anything, you know. So I don't see why skateboarding would be any different. So yeah, I think that's a big help.
Do you ever see guys from other countries, whether it's like Europe or Japan, like pull out tricks that you're like, oh shit, I didn't even know, or like pull out methods that you're like, yo, I didn't even know that you could do it that way?
All the time. I was just talking to a friend recently. I forget what this guy's name who I was watching. I saw him on Instagram, and I was like, gosh, this guy really knows how to ride his skateboard. He knows how to ride his board. And then I thought to myself, I was like, I know how to do tricks on my skateboard, but he knows how to ride his skateboard. I mean, he can do anything. He can ride this wall right here. He could see some random obstacle and figure out how to like get his board over it, ride up a hubba onto the ledge, like do all these things that are just so like almost like jazz, just so like spur of the moment, freestyle, top of the head. Me, I'm more like, I know I'm going to this spot, I'm going to try this trick, I'm going to do that. And that's kind of like the box I'm in. And it really hit me like, fuck, dude, you don't even know how to ride a skateboard.
Which is so crazy to hear you say that.
Yeah, I'm just a trick person.
Like pro basically like 20 years and you're
Yeah.
like, I don't know how to ride a skateboard.
I literally, it's getting to the point where these guys, this new generation, this era, they can fucking, dude, I don't even know how to explain it, dude. They can literally ride their board on any type of surface, any type of obstacle, material. It blows my mind. It's like a language that I don't know how to speak.
Yeah.
It's like if you learn how to speak like at a first grade level, like vocabulary of a first grader, and then like some guy has a vocabulary of like a Harvard grad student or whatever the hell, I'm starting to say some Mensa guy and then, kid in first grade. That's how I feel like, yeah, you're both talking English, but it's different level. You know what I mean? Like,
does it still fuel you? Like, are you still fueled by that idea of like seeing someone do something and being like, all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's fire, but let me work at that.
Yeah, I don't think of it in that way of like, oh, that's fire, but I'm gonna get you. No, I don't think of it like that. I just think of it like there's still so much to learn, and as long as my body can feel good, as long as my body evolves, I'm gonna try to keep learning and growing as a skater myself. Now, I might not be able to do certain things as time goes on, like jump down the big stairs, but there's so much things you can do, and you just have to expand your creativity and use your imagination and evolve and just change how you skate and change how you do things. So the sky's the limit, as long as my creativity could work and my passion to skate and body holds up, I can still learn and do the best me that I can do,
How much do you see skating as an art?
Pretty much all as an art,
Fully an art form.
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't necessarily call it a sport, but it takes athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely takes athleticism, and these skaters that you see are athletes, but they're athletes doing art, is the way I look at it. Yeah, because it's not by nature a competitive thing. Usually it's you competing against yourself and trying to level up on what you've already done. Now contests have gotten bigger, and there's a lot more prizes on the line and bigger sponsors and stuff. So there is the competitive side of it, but street skating to this day still is like so like free and expressive. I feel like it's more like music.
It's really a process of self-expression. Like,
100%.
Yo, how can I express myself through this movement?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like, take me to a spot and let me think of what I can do here that no one has done yet. It's like, give somebody a canvas and create a painting, like our boy Jack up there. Right?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, he had a canvas and he was just working on something. I don't know if he already knows what he's doing or if it's just like spontaneous. Yeah, I don't know. But
that's interesting. I think that's a good way to look at it. I mean, I feel that way with stand-up sometimes. Like stand-up is like inherently non-competitive, but obviously comedians and competitive people will make it competitive.
For sure.
And competitiveness, like, I think can really help the form. I think it helps push people. I think it makes people better, but it can't be so much so that now your metrics are in the wrong place.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, this probably happens at skating where like the biggest guy or like the person everyone knows might not necessarily be the best at all things. And that someone that is, unknown might be the greatest, like vert guy or whatever.
100%.
Like, and by making it a raw competition, you kind of lose nuance in the art.
100%. And if you get stuck in that mindset for too long, it loses the soul of it too. You forget why you even started.
Right? Is it for money? Like,
exactly.
Is it
like
for fans? Like,
exactly, for fame, for popularity, whatever you want to call it. Like, I've definitely gotten caught up in in that type of stuff in my world, and thank God I was able to find my way back. Like, whoa, slow down, dude. Like, every so often I don't necessarily like to live in the past, but every so often it's good to go back and like tap in with your like with the kid inside of you who started with just that pure intention, just to tap back into that real quick to refresh and remind you why you're doing this, and then bring that into the present. Like,
do you meditate?
I do.
How frequently?
I try to do every day. Mostly I do like 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night, but
that's great.
I skip a day here and there sometime, but I'm pretty consistent.
And is it a specific like regimen or style, or is it just like a breath work?
I mix it up. Like, I'll go in phases where I just sit in silence and just breathe and close my eyes and set my timer for 10 minutes, just breathe and just try to just let my mind be clear. And if a thought comes in, just I've noticed I'm thinking, okay, let it pass and just be back into the moment. And then there'll be times where like I'll find a really cool like guided meditation or guided hypnosis that I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool, and I'll just lay back and listen to that until it's done. And yeah, I'm always looking for new, different.
And what does that do for you?
When it just clears my head, man. It just clears the cluster. You know, some days I might wake up feeling a little anxious or feeling a little flustered because I got this responsibility I got to take care of. Oh, but I want to work on this, and then fuck, I need time to skate. Oh, I got to work out. Oh, but I got to be done at this time because I got to go pick up the kid from school or whatever it is, you know. And I'm just you just got all this. It like brings you back. Okay, one thing at a time. Take care of this moment. This moment will take care of the next moment, and so on and so forth.
And how long have you been doing that for?
Consistently, I'd say for the last year.
Okay.
But I've always done it for, I'd say, the last 10 years, but it would be like just in phases, in waves. Go a couple weeks, don't do it for a few months. Get back in a thing again where I'm like, I got to get my life together. And then, you know, so.
But consistently for years.
About a year. I've been like pretty solid with it.
Do you find it helps when you skate?
Definitely.
In what
Definitely.
way?
It's hard to explain. I don't really know. I just think that I choose to believe that meditation is really good for you. So I think the power of belief in the faith that it's good for you. I'll notice like when I'm very consistent with it, if I'm skating really well, if I'm taking care of my body really well as well, that like I'll go have a session and I won't even be thinking nothing, and tricks will just be happening. I'll fall into what they call the zone much easier and much more frequently.
You're in flow.
Yeah, in flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I feel correlates to when I'm doing it consistently.
Are there other things in your life that you've done to like try to tap into that flow? Like you ever use like psychedelics or like smoke or anything?
I haven't. I used to smoke a lot of weed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I used to smoke a lot of weed up until probably like maybe 10 years ago, like 27, 28. And then I started getting like panic attacks and anxiety all the time.
Bro.
I don't know, it just started hitting me out of nowhere.
Weird how that happens.
Yeah.
Right? I'm the same way. Like I didn't really smoke that much, like maybe once a month, something like that. But in the past like year, I just can't do it. Every time I smoke, I get super anxious. I get way too high, just off like the littlest hit. I'm laying there just like forgetting how to breathe.
Yeah, you're like, bro, my heart beating too fast. What's going on? Like,
dude,
my throat closing? What's going on?
Every breath feels like water. You're like,
like.
Yeah, and my girl's just looking at me like, what is wrong with you?
You're like, I can't wait for this to be over.
Oh, yeah, every time. Yeah, I don't enjoy it. I told a story before, but like I smoked with Dwight Howard one time on accident. We were at Burning Man, like that big festival, and he was there, and he passed me a joint, and I like took that shit, and I was like, all right. I smoked it, and I passed it back to him,
panic attack.
And immediately, because I'm from Orlando, like he played with the Magic, like at his height. I was like, bro, this is Superman, literally.
Yeah.
And then I hit that shit immediately. It was just like, oh, he hates me. Dwight Howard hates me. Like just like, and like, why is that even in there?
Yeah.
And then I just like went back. I just like tried to dance it. I don't know. It was just
super self-conscious, especially if I was in a festival like that and I smoked.
The worst,
bro. People everywhere, I'd be having a panic attack, bro. Like I wouldn't be able to hold a conversation.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be able to like just think straight. So yeah, but yeah, I used to love it. It would be all day, every day, and I was skating. I'd be amazing because it would just be like. I would be in a meditative state, but as far outside of that, no, I haven't dabbled in anything else. Cause like, I just like, even though people always tell me like mushrooms is way different, I'm just like, I don't trust myself. I think like, I don't trust that I won't freak out.
Yeah. Some shit will happen in there.
Yeah. Like, I just like, I don't want like, I don't know. I just like, I don't know if I trust my ability to not freak out. If I already get this paranoid, if I'm going to smoke some weed, then I don't know if I'm going to pull it off.
That's how I feel. Yeah. I talk to people that do ayahuasca. I'm like, no way, bro. Yeah, like that just seems like a lot. Like definitely. I think it's cool. Like if it works for you, like that's dope. But like I don't know. I think I was like an anxious kid. Like as a kid, I was like kind of anxious.
Yeah, I can say that.
And you can see that from me.
From me, sorry, I can say that for myself.
You're like, bro, I see that shit, dude. Look at you.
You're tripping out.
But now, as a kid, I would feel anxious. I think, and like I think it carried over. And meditation really works. But like anytime I smoke weed and I'm like if I'm not really focused, like if I'm not really like being intentional, I think I've regressed that. Like, do you feel like you were anxious as a kid and like there's little pieces of it that carry over?
Yeah. I mean, dude, I've always been like a scaredy cat, shy kind of kid. Like, dude, I was afraid of the dark until I was a lot older than I'd like to admit, bro. Like, you
Go
know
into
what I
your
mean?
parents' room, be like, "Can I
Yeah,
sleep on the
like,
floor?"
oh yeah, like, dude, I was afraid of the dark. Like, if I saw a scary movie, I would be haunted by it and wouldn't be able to sleep in my room with the light off.
To this
Really?
day, bro, I'll see a scary movie and I'm just like, "Fuck, bro." I'm gonna go in my apartment alone and just be like annoyed. Like I'm not even scared. I was more annoyed. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I'm grown ass man.
come
What
on,
the
dude.
fuck?
Yeah,
Like,
but especially if I haven't slept in a while, I'll be kind of sleep deprived, and I'll do a pod, and some guy's telling me like he saw demons or some shit, and I'm like, oh fuck. Because then I'm like closing my eyes and I'm like thinking about the stuff he told me, and I'm like,
yeah.
all right, just go to sleep, dude. Like, but
And
it bugs me.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
But I was the same way as a kid. I would
Yeah.
like go in my parents' room and be like,
Yeah, dude, I'd be scared of the dark until I was way older than I'd like to admit, and then, like I was afraid to be home alone for a long time, and and then I was just really shy. I don't know where it stems from, or I don't even remember like an instant. Might have happened before I was, old enough to remember, but I mean clearly. But I was always a shy kid, like especially going to school, or you go to a new school, like literally like paralyzed to talk to anybody new.
your voice shaking,
Yeah,
hands are sweating.
it's a wonder how I even ever got with a girl in my life. It's like a miracle.
What was the first kiss? How'd you find her?
I think it was in a Truth or Dare
Nice
game in 6th grade, I believe, maybe
Yeah.
5th grade.
You needed a framework. You
Yeah,
needed
we were.
an excuse.
Yeah, exactly. It
You're
was
like, legally, I have to kiss you now.
Yeah,
She's
like
all right.
it was either Spin the Bottle or Truth or Dare, and that was how it happened for me. Like there would have been no way in hell any time during that era for many years to come that I would have ever gotten to the point where I could have like, hey girl, how you doing? Like and made the move myself. Oh hell no, I couldn't have done that. Bro, I don't even know how it's a miracle it ever happened.
Are your siblings shy?
Little bit. So I got a half brother and a half sister. My sister, she's not super shy. Not really. I wouldn't classify her as shy.
Oh,
My brother he's also pretty outgoing himself. But see, we were all raised in different environments, different situations.
Interesting.
Not
That's a
that-
half brother from your dad's other marriage?
Yeah, so my half brother is we have the same dad, different
Gotcha.
mom. My sister, we have the same mom, different dad.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I honestly don't know where it stems from, but I'm like in certain situations, I'm dreadfully shy. Like the fact that like we're in a situation, you're interviewing me, I can talk to you. If I'm getting asked questions, okay, I'm confident that I can respond.
You're
But
nailing it
if
so
you
far.
and I were just like throwing a room together, no interview, no reason, like to try to have a conversation, I would just be like, fuck.
Dude, give me a skateboard.
Yeah, it'd be like, this shit when you like looking awkwardly, stupidly at the floor, anywhere but the
Your
person.
phone's dead. You keep looking at it for no
just
reason
some-
anyway.
Just like I'm that dude, and I even catch myself doing. I'm like in the moment, I'm like, Paul, you're doing like the stupid, nervous, awkward shit. Just relax, and then you do it worse, and you just. I
Oh,
don't
that's
know.
so funny, especially because most people are excited to meet you. Like you'll meet,
dude.
like I'm sure there's skaters that meet you that are like, bro, you're P-Rod, and you're like,
Sometimes that
"Fuck,
makes
I'm
me
nervous."
awkward. Yeah, sometimes it does.
Have you
Because
had
I don't
a
know
fan
how to
interaction
respond.
that you walk away from? You're like, oof, that was rough for you.
A lot of times, man. Lots of times I've walked away for sure. Like, oh gosh, like sometimes I won't even remember that like people might recognize me, and I'll think like, "What the fuck is this dude staring at me for?" Like, I'm thinking like, there's an issue. I'm like, I'll be like tighten up my belt. Like, am I gonna have to fight or flight right now? What's gonna happen? Like, I've literally had moments where I was like, dude, be staring.
Yo,
I'm like,
square up, bro.
yeah, I'm just like, bro, is this like some shit going down right now?
He's
And I'm
like, yo, I've seen you, and you're like, yo, where'd you see me?
yeah, and I'll just be like, and it'll just be like, yo, and I'm like, here it goes. Yo, you P-Rod? Oh yeah.
You're like, oh,
What
I
up?
am
Yeah.
P-Rod.
It's seriously like it's actually like at this age right now still very bad in certain circumstances, and it's actually probably like the biggest thing that bugs me about myself. Because like I don't even want to meet any of my heroes because I know I would act like ridiculous, but I don't want to meet anybody who I look up to
If you
anymore.
met Tom Penny,
I have met Tom Penny many times.
and how was it?
That was cool because we met as like I guess equals, so to speak. Like I was a well-known skater at that point, and he knew of me and well-known, but still like I couldn't sit in a room and just have a conversation. Every time I see him, it's like, hey Tom, how you doing? Oh, hey Paul, how you doing? Hey, oh, nice to see you, man. Hey, man, you mind if we grab a picture? Yeah, sure, no problem. And then boom, picture. All right, great to see you, Tom. Hey, much love. Take care. All right, peace. It's like,
Bro,
quick
you're
in
an
and out.
actor, bro. Yo, you killed that shit. That was fire, dude.
Thanks.
I thought Tom was in here for a second. The audio listeners are gonna be like, bro, is Tom in the room right now? You bodied that.
Thank you. But that I can do.
Yeah.
But like, dude, if you name a big actor, whoever.
Tom Hanks pulled up.
Oh, I'd be like, if I saw him somewhere, I wouldn't even like. I've never. My friend Mike, who you met right now, Spanish.
Legend.
He will talk to anybody, anytime, anyway. Hey, how you doing, guy? What's going on? Oh my, like I can't do. I don't. It's like makes me like, I want to just hide and disappear. Like anytime I met someone who I really looked up to famous, I want to get out of the situation so bad.
Who was it, bro?
You name it. I've met. I did a commercial with Nas. He was in one of my Nike commercials.
One of your music heroes.
Totally. And so I just, like when I got to meet him, he's just real cool, real quiet like that. And like, is so still to the point almost of like, somebody should say something here. It's so dead. And he'll just chill. And I was just, hey, Nas, nice to meet you. Hey, nice to meet you, man. Like, cool. Okay. And then I just, something in me was like, I got to go. Okay. Nice to meet you. Okay. Bye. And just walk out like, and then just like, oh my gosh, dude. Like, really? Like that's just how, like, I don't, just like anybody who I've met on, who I consider like mega like this. So I'm like, no, I'm not meeting, I don't want to meet anyone anymore. Bro. I just want to be fans from afar and leave it at that.
That's so funny. Bro, you got to do an acting class for that. Why don't you get your acting coach to be like, yo, here's how you meet people.
Yeah.
And then you just do that.
Believe it or not, that helped me a lot.
Really?
Just to the point where I'm at now even. But like, I think I've probably regressed in my skills because I haven't gone for years. But like that definitely got me a lot more confidence. But it's weird. I almost feel more comfortable in front of people than just one-on-ones.
Yeah. Because you're able to act.
Right.
When you're in front of people, like this is a theory that I've heard people say, that they're like, yo, if you're nervous to do something, like you're going up in front of a speech, like you're going on a date with a girl, they're like, try to imagine who the person you wish you were. Whether it's a fictional character, whether it's someone you know, a famous person, your brother, whatever, and then act like them. Literally, like this is the thing people have said. Like if you have like social anxiety, like, yo, try to be them. Like if you're going on stage, be like, yo, who's super funny? Okay, I'm going to be Patrice O'Neal. I'm going to be Bernie Mac. I'm going to go up there super confident and just lay it down. And because they're able to channel their energy into a person, they're able to kind of disassociate from their anxiety and actually like kill it. And then they come back and they'll watch a video of themselves and be like, that was me? I can't even imagine doing that. But when it's one-on-one, it's harder to like act.
That would be like a funny skit. Somehow, like just like, because immediately I thought like one of the most charismatic and confident people. Immediately when you said that, be who you wish you were. I was like Muhammad Ali. But then imagine you talking to a girl like, I'm the greatest in the world. Like, you know what I mean? Like just bragging on yourself.
She's like, yo, can I come up to your place? And I'm like, yo, sting like a butterfly, float like what?
Yeah.
Like, well, that's not how it goes, bro.
Yeah. So
you say the N-word, they're like, all right, dude, you're cut off. No more acting. You cannot act anymore, dude.
Yeah, man.
No, but you got to channel people. I think that probably happens. Like when you're one-on-one, it's like, all right, I'm just normal. But then you might like think into your anxiety and you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, one-on-one is just like so much responsibility. Like, I have to keep that. But there's some people who are really good at, if somebody has the energy where they're easy to talk to, then it opens me right up. But if somebody is like hard to break into, just like how I am, then we're gonna be at a standstill. And it's just gonna be like, fuck.
Yeah, you need an extrovert to like come and get the energy. 100%.
Yes,
and when you met your girl that you're dating now, was it a similar vibe?
Yes.
Like she met you and she was just like, let's go.
I wouldn't say it like that. I think she did. We met through a mutual friend who introduced us, but she was definitely the one who made the conversation easy going. She like has a really sweet, nice energy and fun energy about her that makes her like just like real easy to be around. And so like, but if she was like, maybe another type of person who was like, like sometimes, really hot women can be very intimidating for a guy, and sometimes, there's certain ones who are like used to the guy coming up and doing all the work or whatever, and just being very quiet and standoffish. But my girl, it's not that she was like doing the job of the guy. It's just that's her natural personality.
Yeah, she's just fun and outgoing.
Whoever, like, hey, what's up? Like, oh, cool. And it was easy to just like, oh, what up? Cool.
You ever go on a date with a girl where you're like, bro, she's so hot, like this is like perfect, and then she's introverted, and then y'all just stare at each other?
Yes.
Like if she's
super introverted,
you're introverted, and you're like, oh, this is perfect. She's a 10, and then all of a sudden you guys start talking, and you're like,
I definitely dated a girl like that.
Oh, for a long time?
Some months.
Oh wow.
We would have moments where we're talking, but then like a lot of the time be at dinner and be like,
so
yeah, so what's up with you? And like the thing is, we had a lot in common. We just didn't know how to get it out of each other. So
that's so funny.
Yeah. So.
No, but that's important though. Like that social compatibility. Like I see couples like that, and I remember growing up and like my parents' friends or whatever, and there would just be one person that just talked the whole time, and the other person would just listen. I'd be like, that relationship looks like it sucks. And then now I'm older, I'm like, oh, they were the happiest people in the world. Like she got a free show every night, and he just told her stuff. And now that I'm married, like my girl and I kind of have that dynamic. Like I'm much more outgoing than she is, but she just loves it. Like I just get to talk, and she's just like, cool, comedy show, whatever. Yeah. Like it works.
Yeah, and then once you get to past a certain point where you know each other like so well, like then silence isn't awkward anymore.
Yeah,
and
like,
it's just like whatever.
You see old couples at a diner just like dead silent.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
Even with your homies, like I'll be chilling, my friend will be eating food, he'll be on his phone, I'll be on my phone, whatever, just doing typical shit that people do these days. Just stare at your phone, and it's not awkward that we're hanging out, but we're not hanging out. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, that's Mike, whatever.
Yeah, it's comfortable just to be around someone.
Yeah,
to be alone together.
Yeah, you're just like whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
But before you have that, it's like the whole time you're panicking. I'm just panicking. Like, fuck.
Think of some shit to say, bro.
Yeah, like and then you just repeat the same question, maybe in a different way, like. So how's it been going?
You got to do an interview show, bro. That shit would be so fire. And you just ask people the same question 4 times.
Oh my gosh!
Like, so where are you from again?
Yeah. You remember? Do you remember that Chris Farley skit he used to do where he would interview people? He'd be like the nervous guy, like, so he was like interviewing Paul McCartney. So, yeah, I forgot what he says. Like, so in that one song you said like, the love you make is equal to the love you take, and Paul McCartney was like, yes, I remember. He's like, well, is that true? You're just like,
is that a sketch about you, dude? I think it was.
It's literally like it was like maybe that's where I got I used to watch that so much. Maybe that's why
that was your first role, dude.
Oh my god! You watched
that, you were like, that's me.
But bro. It was just funny, like that.
Was your dad hella outgoing?
He is and isn't too.
Oh,
it's really weird. From what I notice about him, he like again same thing. Put him on a stage in front of a crowd, in front of handful of people, he'll hold court and be boom, boom, boom. But on some one-on-one shit, it could be like awkward.
Oh, interesting. You've seen it like that.
Yeah, even just us. It can be like awkward.
I think that's dad stuff sometimes.
Yeah, like, true. But
dads and their sons have like a thing sometimes.
Sure. And we have a like loving relationship. It's just, but it's still like you would think there's a lot to talk about. We'll talk about some, but usually it's the same kind of like we hover around the same 2 or 3 subjects.
Yeah.
But
it's kind of got to get into it. Like my dad and I, like we won't like call each other that much, but when I go home, we'll just talk for 5 hours. But then like I'll leave and then we won't really talk that much. But then I'll go back home and then it's just like back on. Like with you and your pops, was it like, are you guys talking all the time, or when you go home?
No, I wish we would. I mean, obviously, I take part of that. I take responsibility of that too. But no, we'll hit each other up. Like I was with him for Father's Day, and then I was with him a few days before Father's Day. So like that week, I saw him twice. That was for most I've seen him in a week in a long time. But usually it's like maybe a month or 2. Like, yo, what's up? Come see your old man sometime. I'm like, all right, Pop. Yeah, you want to get some dinner? Want me to bring Heaven, my daughter? Yeah, bring her by. Let's go get some sushi or something. Come pick me up. And then I go pick him up. We have some dinner. And I think Heaven there actually makes it easier because now he's got like
his little buddy.
Her to talk to, crack some jokes, and it's good. And I like it too. It's really good to see their dynamic. But yeah. So it's sporadic. I'll see him every month or 2. And
at what point were they proud of you when they were like, yo, this skateboarding shit is on? Do you remember that moment where like your dad called you, was like, yo, you did that?
Yeah. I remember that exactly. My mom was always proud of me just as her kid. She was always good like that. And when I was a kid, I wanted to do every little hobby I was into. You know, like I was saying before, you know, I wanted to be a stuntman. I was doing gymnastics. I was doing martial arts. I was playing baseball, whatever. I was doing everything, just shit that kids do. And so she was always like, yeah, go do it. You can do it. And my mom always told me when I was a little kid, you know, you're special. You can do something special, and planted that young. And then when I got into skating, it was just like, yeah, okay, you want to skate? Yeah, fine. Like, 'cause, you know, I wasn't doing anything bad or wrong or anything. So when I told her I wanted to be a pro skater, she's like, cool. Like, okay, nice. You know, she was always open for dreams. So was my dad, but you know, he didn't, since I didn't live with him, he didn't see the progress. He didn't understand the culture of skateboarding. He didn't know about it. It wasn't until I was probably about maybe 19 or 20, maybe around the time when I'm signing with Nike. Then it's like, Dad, I have a sponsorship with Nike. Whoa. But actually it was before that, actually. It was when I got in the Tony Hawk video game, I get a phone call from him. Hey, what's this I hear about you being in a video game? I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, Dad, I'm in a video game. In a video game? You don't tell your dad? I was like, oh, yeah, well, I don't know. I just didn't, I don't know. I'm sorry. It's not like I was hiding it. It was just like one of those, like, because he's so witty and always could say shit so good that it made me stumble in my words. Like, oh, I wasn't hiding it, but like, it was just, I don't know. Sorry. I don't have an answer. He's like, yeah, I have to hear from my assistant. She tells me that you're on a video game. Yeah. And then I tell him, yeah. So I think at that point he was like, okay, he's really doing it.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, and then he's always shouting me out every time he's on interviews, talking about me and bigging me up. So that I hear that. So it took a while to like I actually did it for him to realize. Like I think he was proud because he's like, wow, he did it. Yeah. He actually told me about it and he did it. My mom was just like, go for it. Like you got this.
On
go
some
for
mom
it.
shit, just like whatever you wanted to do.
Yeah, I back you as long as you're not not a bad person or hurting people or doing whatever, something negative, like you got it.
Yeah.
You know?
Did you like the attention or were you like averse to it once you started getting like competition attention? Like you like gold medal in the X Games, you're getting interviewed, cameras on you. Was that good attention because it was about something you did, or was it still nerve-wracking because being shy?
No, that's what's weird. My shyness, like on the surface, most people wouldn't think I'm shy. But that was not nerve-wracking to me at all. Like attention for my craft because I was confident on my skills in my craft.
The focus was on the thing.
On the thing, yeah. Or even like if a camera's in front of me and people ask me questions, I'm confident in like, oh, you're keeping the conversation going, so I don't have to do anything but just respond. Okay, cool. I don't have to be. What makes me nervous is being the person who has to keep the convo going,
right?
Or like make it interesting.
Yeah, you got to keep the little beach ball.
Yeah, that's what makes me panic. So that was chill for me. I really enjoyed that.
What was the first check you got where it was like crazy money, and then what was the dumbest thing you bought after you got it?
Let me think. The dumbest thing I bought. I mean. Probably my first car. I bought a Mercedes-Benz CL 420, 2002. I was 17. It's my first car ever. Just got my driver's license. I just wanted to look like all my favorite rap stars, and like just wanted to live like you remember that movie Belly with Nas and DMX?
Yeah.
Nas drove that car in that movie, and I wanted to look like Nas in that. Like, that's what I wanted to drive. And so I got that car. But that wasn't from one big check. That was like I was 16. I was living at home. I was just saving up money.
Competition money.
Yeah, and I was just saving up sponsorship money and where I was getting money from. And I didn't have any other bills. So I was like, yeah, let me just blow it all in a car, And I remember my dad, when we did dealership, like, he was kind of grumpy that day, like, you shouldn't be doing this. It's a stupid purchase, stupid thing to do. I'm just like, come on, Dad. I don't remember even what I was saying, but I just remember being a little grumpy about it. But whatever. I was like, I'm getting it anyway. I don't care. Nobody was talking me out of it, And
then you get it, and then you drive it off the lot, and then all your boys see it.
Yeah.
and they're probably going crazy.
Yeah, that was what it was all about.
Yeah.
You want to get that reaction, right? Then I wanted to pull up to the skate park, maybe one of the local little girls who would hang out at the park, maybe get a little attention over there too. Of course, I want to, like floss a little bit and get a little attention because I didn't know how to spark up a conversation any other way. So
Yeah.
maybe this would be a
You don't
good
need
conversation
if you're
starter.
blasting Nas out of the Benz, it's like, yo, just hop in. Did that ever happen? Did you ever just get like pull up in like Venice and just be like, yo, jump in the Benz?
No, dude. I wish I could have been that dude, but at the same time, not really. But I just wasn't ever me, man. Yeah. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah.
How did you meet Heaven's mom?
She was my best friend's sister. My
Whoa.
friend Nigel was he is about 4.5 years older than me, and I met him when he was 18 and I was just going on 14. He worked at a local skate shop that was like the big skate shop in our area where like all the good dudes from the valley, all the good skaters from the San Fernando Valley skate for these guys. If you skate for them, that's saying something. So like my friend, without me knowing, took our little videotape down there and showed it to them, and they wanted us to ride for their skate shop. So I met Nigel. He was the first friend I had that drove a car, first friend I had that had like a proper camera, then who would film and edit, and he worked at the skate shop. So every weekend we would go skate the streets, and then during the weeks I would stay at his house lot because he had this like long driveway where he built little obstacles, and we would just skate all day, all night. So that's how I met her through him.
Oh, interesting. And did you guys date?
Yeah, we dated for, but not until years later. Not until I was like 19 when we started. Yeah, so we went together for like 7 years.
Yeah. And how old were you when Heaven was born?
I was just gonna turn 24. Heaven's birthday is 2 weeks before mine.
Oh, cool. I mean, that's pretty young, especially by LA standards. Like, I feel like most people in the cities, like, I'm 26. I got married when I was 23, and everyone was like, "What are you doing?" And so, like,
That is young.
yeah, even you having a kid at 24, and you're like, "Dude, gay?"
Yeah,
Like, you're like, "What's wrong with you?" But yeah, no one gets it. But,
I've never been married. Yeah.
But you had a kid at 24, and I think that's a cool story that you have a kid at 24.
Yeah.
And didn't really slow you down.
No.
Did it fuel you? Like, what did you think the day she tells you that she's pregnant? How did you feel?
Well, thank God I felt confident in my ability to love a baby. Like I know that if I have a child, I'm going to love the kid. And I thank God that I was already stable in my career and financially. So that wasn't a stress. So I didn't feel like my life is over. I can't be free and do what I got to do, or do what I love to do because I have to like get serious and buckle down, because it just so happened what I love to do is also what is providing. So I didn't have to lose that. And I've seen people go through that where like, they have to they basically disappear. They just have to work. They have to support the family because times are tough and they can't just be hanging around with the homies. It just so happens that me skating and hanging around with my homies is my job.
Yeah.
And so I was able to still do that. And I had a wonderful kid who I loved dearly, and that wasn't an issue for me. So I was just grateful that I had those circumstances, which is why I would encourage anyone, if you can help it, wait till you're like financially stable to have a kid, especially if you're in a relationship and you want that relationship to have a shot at really lasting. Because the reality of it is like being in love is one thing, but being in love with the baby and broke is another thing, bro. That's stress.
Yeah, that's insane.
That,
and a lot of people do it.
They do.
Yeah,
but
respect.
But they do, and they do it, but like
It's tough.
It creates so much stress in that relationship that relationship loses the love. It loses that magic that it once had.
You're surviving.
Exactly. And then you guys are at each other's throats because of this and that and the lights and this. What are we going to do? Where are we going to be? Where are we going to go? And one person has to like watch the kid. The other has to figure out how to bring home the bacon. It's just like, it becomes like a weird nightmare that some people have a hard time getting out of until the kid grows up and hopefully can take care of themselves and be on their own, you know? So I would just give that advice. If you can help it, man, like really focus on getting your career and like finances straight so that like when you get to that moment, if you have someone you love and you want to have a child with them, you guys will have a real shot at like the relationship still continuing to flourish.
Yeah. Do you remember when she was born?
Yeah, December 18th, 2008.
What's that day like?
It was like 3-something in the afternoon. We were in the hospital for like, since the day before, like maybe even late night, that 2 nights before. But we were in heaven was like coming out, but she just was taking her sweet time to come out. And I was like, I think it was like a 30-hour labor or something. And I remember just like sitting there and like feeling bad. I didn't know what I couldn't do anything for her, you know, like the nurses, everybody was taking care of her, you know, whatever. But we just basically had to wait until heaven was ready to roll. And finally it was like 3:30 in the afternoon. And she finally came out. She was just all healthy, thank God, and just cute and little. And, you know, we took her home the next day, you know, and brought her home and commenced on that journey.
What's that like holding her? Like, are you like mind blown? You're like, dude,
Yeah.
all my friends are just like skating and smoking weed all day.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now I'm a father.
Yeah.
Like that seems like pretty transformational.
It was for sure. I guess it just happens so in the moment that you don't have a chance to really take all that's happening in. It's just you're in the moment and you're doing what's presently presenting itself in front of you. And yeah, she was just so little and so quiet. She was a real quiet kid, not a real crier, and she was so cuddly. And I would just hold her. I would just like put her in my arm. I got so many good photos. Thank God we took a lot of photos. And but now you see she's just like a grown ass kid walking around like, Dad, what's
wild,
up?
Right?
Dad, can we go over here? Dad,
yeah, she dabbed me up. She came in, she's like, yo, what's up? Yeah,
like, yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah. So
you got like an adult now. It's crazy.
Yeah, and this part of it is really good too, because like we can really bro down. I can really talk to her like a human, and I can see what her personality is about, what she's into, what she's, you know, she's a teenager. I remember what it was at her age. I was skating then, but I know what teenagers do. I know what they're getting into. I know some things, and you know, we listen to kind of similar music, know of similar people, and we can just relate on a lot of areas. She likes sneakers and cool clothes. Like I took her to Supreme the other day, and they hooked her up with a bunch of clothes and stuff like that, and she was so excited about that. And even just coming, like seeing me do podcasts, doing shows, like she never seen this side of things, you know.
Yeah.
What I do outside of just skating, you know.
Yeah, and it's cool that you get to take her along. And I'm sure, like, of all her friends, you're probably like the youngest dad, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, because you guys live in LA, right?
Yeah.
Like most people, I think in the cities, like they wait till like their mid-30s to have kids, especially the dudes. Like, because if you can wait, like, yeah, you kind of wait.
Is smart. It goes back to that. Wait till you're financially set up.
Which is so funny though, because if you ask, I mean, I don't know. In my opinion, I'll talk to people that like had kids when they're like 40, and they're like, if you can have kids young, do it.
Well, grass is always green on the other side, right? Like I agree, but if you can have them young and be financially stable, that's
ideal.
That's ideal, and I thank God that, you know, that happened to be the circumstance I was in, because it is cool, because I am still relatively young and she's like growing up, but like I'm still relatable. I can still relate to her. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm still her dad, and she still is not impressed or thinks too much shit I do is cool, but still, like I can relate on a different level. Like some of her friends' parents, they're up there, and like I have nothing to talk about with them, no real bond with them, you know? And so
you get socially nervous already. Now you're talking to some 65-year-old.
I just feel like I'm a kid and they're talking to me. That's exactly what I feel like. I'm still a kid. Like they're a principal or something. They're just like, you know.
Hello, mister.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Hello, Mr. So, yeah. Like, Dad will be staying here with us this evening. Like, she's over here telling me, Dad.
Are they up the block? If you got to run.
I think they're outside.
Did it make you want to like work harder having a kid younger? Like, did it give you fuel? Like, all right, now I got some shit to play for. I got to keep it moving.
Yes and no. Yes, I mean, I knew that I had a child, and my life was more than selfish now. It was, or my goals were more than just for selfish reasons. But at the same time, I was still 23, and I was doing what I love anyway. I didn't even need more motivation. I was as motivated as you could possibly be, at that time of life. And with or without a child, I would have still tried to be the best I can be. But yeah, of course, knowing that, but knowing that, that
she knows you're
it's
talking
more
about
than just you, definitely is fuel. But like, it's all actually what I noticed recently. Now that I'm getting older, is more like me being a better person and a better man to like, so I can be a better father and help guide her better, is really what to me is the important part, and the thing I'm motivated for, because I was a child when I had her, and there was so many things parental wise, and like my life growing up was a lot different than her life is growing up. So like I so many skills that I lacked and do lack as a father. But I think the important part, as long as you give it a hearty try, consistently, one, you're going to improve, and two, you can only do as best as you can do. You can only try. You can only give your best.
Yeah.
At whatever level that is, you just give your best.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm like concerned about like having kids. Like I'm 26 now. I might have kids in like a year or two, and it's gonna require a lot of like self-reflection. It like requires you to like really work on yourself. Like you are seeing a mirror of yourself in a lot of ways, and your kid is reflecting things about you that you might not like. Like they might pick up habits that you're doing.
Yeah.
Like I mean, especially with a daughter, like there's a lot of evidence to support that like she'll be drawn to a husband that is similar to the way you are. And if you're exhibiting behavior that is not what you like she might be drawn to a guy that you might not like. And
which ultimately means you don't like yourself.
Which is crazy, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
there's like
yeah.
a wild like self-loathing that goes along with that, but like
Yeah.
it happens time and time again, and people, I don't know if they're super reflective to realize that. So
Yeah.
like were there specific things that you had to kind of work on like through the process of becoming a better parent that made you like a better man?
Well, I'll be honest, I'm knee deep in the process right now. Communication is big, and just quality time. Just like, I'm so happy we came to this trip to New York just to spend straight time with her. Especially now that she's a teenager, she's down to spend time with me, and she's a really sweet kid. But like at 14, you want to be with your friends all the time. You want to go to the mall. You want to just be at the park or whatever. Just
1 to
can
10,
I spend the night at so and so's house tonight or whatever.
Yeah.
So
1 to 10, like you're her favorite person in the world, and then 10 to the rest of her life. There's other people that are introduced. There's like her friends, her boyfriend, her husband, like her kids. Like as things go on, like the parent becomes less of a priority.
Yeah,
and that's a tricky thing.
Yeah. So for me right now, my biggest goal with her, our relationship, is me being way more present in her life. Way more. I mean, I was always present in her life. I've always had equal custody, but like mentally, physically present, and just like get to know her, maybe help instill certain morals into her, that haven't been already. Obviously I always gave her morals, but like now I can see her dynamic with friends of heaven. That's not the right way to do that. Like it's not the right way to go about that situation. Or, hey, I'm really proud of you. You actually handled that really awesome. That's great. Like, where did you learn that from? You know what I mean? Like, whatever. Just give her that proper support without, coming down on her or whatever, and just how to navigate teenage life, man, and just be there for her, advice if she needs it, and just, I don't know, we go to get our nails done. I go get manicures and pedicures. She gets her nails done. Just cool stuff. Just like I've been taking her to the gym with me to work out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just like normal, like father-daughter, just stuff like that is just, I feel like, really important. And, before she becomes an adult or, ends up falling in love, or who knows if she wants to go to college and move out of state or something, whatever, like I just want these times to really like soak in for her, hopefully. But for sure for me, I want these times to really soak in.
Yeah.
I want to bask in these times because she's growing up fast, and you realize, like, damn, they really do grow up fast. Like when you were 14, you're like, it felt like a long time.
Bro, everything was forever, dude.
Yeah.
Everything was forever.
And I'm like, damn, 4 years, she's 18. In 4 years, she could literally tell me, fuck off, Dad. I never want to like talk to you again. I'm leaving. I'm moving wherever I want. And I can't stop her.
Yeah. One presidential term.
Yeah.
Next president.
Yeah.
She's going to be on some different shit.
2019 was 4 years ago.
Crazy.
Seems like yesterday.
Crazy,
So,
right?
like, she could technically do that in 4 years.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure that she won't want to do that in 4 years. You know, I hope she'll still want to.
I mean, that time speed up thing is so wild. Like, you've heard of this, like the relative speed up of time that, like,
I don't know if I've heard of it, but I've experienced it.
Yeah, like as you're getting older, like literally each day is incrementally less time of your overall existence. You know what I mean? So like if you're a year old, one day is 1/365th of your whole life.
Right.
But now as a 38-year-old, like one day is, you know.
Yeah, I look at it as like when the younger you are, the less life reference you have behind you.
Yeah.
But the older you are, the more you have time, you can reference back to so much. So like when you look forward, it goes so fast because you've done it over and over and over and over again for so long.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to explain.
It speeds
up.
up.
That's a really like you really brought the math out in that.
As you're getting older, bro, it's literally speeding up.
Yeah.
Like it's not like, oh, like I mean it is relative, but like it feels like time is faster, bro.
100%. Like we're going on July right now. I was like, bro, we just celebrated New Year's.
Yeah, dude.
I still like I'm still hungover from New Year's.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing is just insane. And do you think you'll have more kids?
I don't know that I want to.
Mm.
I'm not gonna say no for sure. Never say never, but I mean, I have one that I really like. She's like turning out really well. She's really sweet, and she's already 14, and I'm still relatively young. So like the idea of starting back over brand new from diapers.
It's like acting, bro. You're back at the bottom of that mountain.
Yeah, it just seems daunting.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, if it presented itself, if that's what God wanted for my life, and you know, if I was with the woman who's like who's gonna be my woman for life, God willing, then you know, I'm not gonna lose a chance at like somebody very special in my life if like that's a deal breaker for them. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know?
Right.
I don't know.
Do you ever think about like having a son? You're like, dude, having a son would be kind of sick.
It would be.
Are you not like so drawn into like having a kid like you?
No, I don't need that. I already have a really dope kid. You know what I mean? Like I don't need anything else. You know, if God has it so that I have another, then I'm gonna embrace that kid. I'm gonna love that kid. I'm sure I'm gonna enjoy that kid, and whatever you know, boy, girl, whatever that kid turns out to be. But if I have any say in planning it, it's not in my plans.
Right. But maybe God's plans.
God's plans, that's for sure.
What's up, guys? We're going to take a break real quick because I got to tell you about the greatest vases in the game. I'm sure you're looking at me, Mark, why are you talking about vases? Okay. Look, this product has a lot of uses. I use it as a vase. YouTube's monetization team likes to use it as a vase. So that's what it is. All right. You can use it for whatever you want. But here's why I like this vase. Okay. This vase from the Freeze Pipe is very impressive, okay? Because a lot of vases, I've used vases before, right? I went to a college where a lot of kids in my fraternity would use vases, and I would see them use these vases, and you breathe in, you know, you have a flower in the vase, and you sniff the flower, and all of a sudden your lungs get full of hot air, your throat gets all scratchy, you start coughing. It is a terrible experience if you want to smell flowers that way. That's why I recommend you check out the Freeze Pipe. Yeah. Freeze Pipe is amazing because these vases have a glycerin chamber that you put in the freezer for 1 hour, and they can actually cool the air by 300 degrees. Now imagine this. You breathe in some flower, guess what? Now your lungs are filled with nice, cool air. No more coughing, no more itchy, scratchy throat, just a nice, fresh breath of air. So what are you waiting for? This is obviously a superior product. I love these vases. I got one for my mom for Mother's Day. My grandma even uses one. You know, this is one of her favorite vases. Look, there's a lot of things you can use this vase for. I recommend it as a vase, but you can use it for anything you'd like. And if you're interested, you can go to thefreezepipe.com. And when you do that, use the promo code Gagnon, Gagnon, for 10% off your entire order. That's right. To get the best vases in the game, you don't have to break the bank. So you go to thefreezepipe.com and use the promo code Gagnon, Gagnon, to get 10% off your entire order. Never breathe in flour and cough again, all right? With these vases, that's going to save you. Now let's get back to the show. What's up, guys? We're going to take a break real quick because I got to tell you about the greatest tents in the game. That's right. And that's the tent I'm in right now. Look around this beautiful set. It's one of the greatest sets in podcasting, okay? It's cozy, it's nice, it's temperature controlled, and it comes from White Duck Outdoors. That's right. I hit up White Duck. I was like, hey, look, I'm trying to build maybe the greatest podcast set of all time. And they took a chance on me. So for that, I'm grateful. So if you're trying to build maybe an awesome podcast set, or you're trying to go camping, or you're trying to set up like a cool little spot, even just on your property in your backyard, that you can just go hanging with the boys, you should check out White Duck Outdoors. Right now, I'm in the Alpha Wall Tent, all right? It's got all these ventilation panels. It's got really high industrial grade zippers that are gonna be super sturdy. It's like got these beautiful chimneys, so you can actually have like a wood stove in here if you need to. It's got everything, waterproof, water resistant. It's amazing. The reason why I love White Duck is that they truly care about the products that they make. These are real outdoor people. So they're really making real outdoor gear. So if you're going camping, you're looking for a tent to grab, you're looking for outdoor gear, you should go to whiteduckoutdoors.com. Now let's get back to the show. You keep mentioning God. Are you religious?
I just believe in God, man. I believe in God. I'm not here to tell anybody this is right, that's wrong. It's just like, bro, I really pray a lot, and like I just really feel those prayers getting answered. And not just because my life turned out cool and I, did well for myself, not just for those reasons, just for like literally like for my health, for like just for like the way certain circumstances in my life personally worked out, just for like, just, I don't know, just the fact that like I'm breathing air every day, the fact that like I made it safely to New York on an airplane flying through the sky. I don't know. To me, I just feel as though when I pray, I really feel God's existence in my life. I don't necessarily know how have an explanation, but when I meditate, that's my routine in the morning. I'll wake up, meditate, do my meditation first, get my mind clear, and then I'll go kneel by the bed and like actually just talk to God and pray. Not just like not a certain type of religious prayer like in a format. Just I literally will just have a podcast with God. You know what I mean? Like it's like, God, hey, how you doing today? Today I'm feeling like this, man. Oh, by the way, thank you. That was so cool that this happened. And I just really be talking like a real conversation.
Oh, that's dope.
And it really just feels, I don't know how to explain it. I would encourage anybody, just whatever your beliefs are, whatever, like I'm just would encourage you like, hey man, with an open mind, I dare you to just close your eyes, go into a dark room by yourself and just talk to that higher power. And just give it a shot with an open mind. Just see if you don't notice little things in your life, and you're like you really were listening. Huh? You were listening, bro, huh? Like, well, that's weird.
You ever get awkward with God though? You ever start talking like, yo, never mind, bro, I'll call you later?
No, but I'm definitely apologizing a lot.
No.
Yo, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Please. I'm so sorry. Like, I know I keep doing the stupid same thing again. I know. I'm sorry. Please, like, help me to get it right this time. Thank you for being patient with me. I really appreciate that. Like, you're so patient. Thank you. Like, I'll just be talking like that, And
where'd you learn that from? Like, were your parents religious?
Nah, dude. I just my father's side of the family was very religious. They were like, no, they're Christians. They're like apostolic Christians. My grandfather was a preacher, like hardcore super shit. Strict. My dad came over super strict. They're still really religious. My dad was like the one who broke off and did bad or whatever, And,
was it like charismatic? Like where
Grandpa was super charismatic for sure.
But like the charismatic movement, like speaking in tongues and like
there was some tongue speaking. But it was also like shit I didn't understand. Like you can't have long hair. I'm like, every picture I ever saw of Jesus, he had long hair.
Bro.
Like you
he's a surfer, dude.
Yeah, like you can't have piercings or tattoos, or women can't wear makeup. And I'm like, I don't think it's mentioned anywhere in the Bible, by the way. I'm like, at what point are we just like trying to control people to do what we want? Or are we really trying to like really get to know the essence of like the higher power?
Yeah.
That's what got me like, maybe, I don't know that I claim a religion, but damn, dude, I'm telling you.
There's a force.
What do you want? Yeah, the force. That's how I look at it. I was like, the way I maybe this theory helped. The way I see God is, okay. I can't control. What can you control? Think about it, not very much, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't control if the sun comes up tomorrow.
Nope.
So that means there's a force that controls the sun.
Mm-hmm.
There's a force that controls gravity on the planet. I can't control that. there's a force that controls if my heart beats from one beat to the next. I don't even consciously control that. You know, there's really nothing I control. So if all these things that I do not control, we call it a force, right? Some force, the force of gravity, the force of nature, whatever. Force could also be like a power, a force is a synonym, right? So like a force that you can't control. So I would call that a power that is higher than me. So therefore a higher power. That's the way I look at it. So like if I have conscious awareness, how does this higher power, how could I ever think that it's not conscious or much more conscious than I am? You know what I mean? Like,
there's all of these things that are greater than you.
Yeah.
Like they're more powerful. The sun is more powerful than you. The ocean is more powerful than you. And
bit
there's
of it.
tides and waves that come in and out. And if you are powerful enough to be conscious, why can't the thing or the
that is
things
higher
that
than
are
me or more
beyond
powerful
you and more powerful
have a consciousness? I feel like I have a weak consciousness compared to that higher power. For whatever reason, that's how it's done. So the way I look at it is like it's a higher power, you know. And like people are like, oh, but science says this and that. And I don't get too deep in the weeds. I'm just saying how I break it down for myself.
Yeah.
To believe, like even going back to the Big Bang Theory, like no, the universe created the Big Bang Theory. I'm like, okay, I don't see a conflict in why there can't be a God. Because what's the first line in the Bible says? And God says, let there be light.
Bang.
What does that sound like? Oh, I'm like, okay, so far, none of this is contradicting me. Well, I can tell you how, you know, the cells in the earth and this and that's made, so that means there's no God. How does that work? You can also show me the blueprint of a house. That doesn't mean a construction worker didn't build it. It doesn't mean an architect didn't design it.
Yeah.
You know, just because you can tell me how the house was built doesn't mean nobody built it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Both
like,
things can be true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see where the conflict is.
That's kind of how I see it. Like, like there's a God and he created science. Like God's not going to work in contradiction to his own creation. So God is able to create science and then let the earth exist and come to exist. And people are like, oh, but evolution. I'm like, yeah, God evolved us. Why is that controversial?
I don't understand. Like, why couldn't we started as a tadpole and been like a Cro-Magnon man and why does Darwin's theory have to mean that they're like, that's not how God evolved?
To me, I look at it and I'm like, yo, God
started as an embryo, right? And then I grew from an infant to a toddler to this.
Yeah, I already evolved in my life. Bro.
Yeah. And we're going to continue to evolve. I'm going to devolve at some point, you know? So I don't see where any of this is in conflict, you know? I think, so.
It's almost like more credibility.
To me, in my mind.
It's like, yo, look at how amazing its design is.
Yeah.
Like, it's like beautiful.
Yeah. Which, that's why I'm not pushy about it. But if I'm asked about it, I'll just explain how my thoughts on it and how I feel about it. And
if it works for you, like, who's to say it's not good?
Whether you think God is a guy with a big gray beard in the sky, or think God's a elephant dude with 8 arms, or God's a big fat guy smiling and meditating all day. Yeah, maybe they are all our God, one and the same. Maybe we all are of the same pond, so to speak. You know, so maybe we're just each individual droplets, but once we all hit that big pond again, we're all the same water. Yeah, you know, so.
That's interesting.
I got way too.
No. That's the shit I'm looking for. That's interesting.
Okay.
That's really interesting. I mean? And how often are you praying, even like in dark moments, like
all the time?
If you're in a bad spot,
even more. I'm praying nonstop, like happy times, bad times, just kind of regular time. Like it's like a OCD. It's all throughout the whole day, nonstop. Wow. Like if I see someone or think of, like if I see an ambulance go by, please God help everybody in that situation. Please protect those first responders. I hope they have good intentions, good heart, treat everybody equally, and get everybody home safe. And I hope they get home safe to their family members as well. And please protect them. Like to the point where like it's OCD. Like I'll see one, especially here in New York, I'll see an ambulance. I'll say that prayer, and then 2 seconds later, another ambulance. Okay, do it again, and then
New
like
York is
and all of a sudden another. And then I'm just like, I'm just like, I get stuck.
You're like, yo, God, pray for all the ambulances today, all of them that are coming, all of them that I saw already.
It's to the point where like it's not like a formatted thing. I'm always like in communication, like when I eat, thank you, God, thank you for the animals that gave their lives so that I could eat this food. Please let it be healthy and nourishing. Appreciate it. Thank you for letting me be able to afford this food. Thank you for letting me live in a time where I didn't have to run outside and try to hunt this animal down and kill it and stab it. And it just came to me. I can afford it. I can have any type of food I want pretty much at the snap of a finger. Thank you for like allowing me these luxuries. Okay, thank you for this food. I'm gonna eat now. Love you. Okay, boom. That type of thing.
I mean, it is insane. Like, I really like that. I feel like that shows a lot of like humility, where it's like,
yeah, I mean,
it's not, you're not entitled. Like, you're not looking at life being like, I know why we're all here. I know how we got here. It's like, bro, no one really know. Like, there's good theories.
Sure.
But
interesting ones. And maybe they are right. But
100%.
even if they are, how do you know?
But then you look at the Big Bang and you're like, bro, what was even here before that, though?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yo, it violated Newton's laws. Something was created out of nothing. And you're like, well, how does that make sense? It's like, that shit blows my mind every day.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the whole universe. I'm like, yo, why is all this shit here, dude?
Yeah. And then I realized, like, I actually don't really need to know why it's here. It's actually not really my responsibility. It seems like it's been doing it long before I got here. Probably will be long after I'm gone. So it's pretty cool though. Thank you. Like that's just kind of how I look at it. But this is human nature, man. We want to know. But I just talk to God, man.
Dude, I mean, I'd be so curious if you did like mushrooms or something. Like, again, I don't know if you'd ever do it, but like, I don't really do mushrooms like that. But I've talked to a lot of people that do it like in high doses, and they're like, oh, there's a God. Like, I've had friends that were like atheists, like staunch, like the annoying ones that are like, oh, you believe in God, like those people, and they're like, dude, I did mushrooms, and I'm so sorry for everything I've ever said to you.
Damn, that's cool.
There's some shit out there. I'm like, what?
That's cool.
And they're like, dude, it is real. And we are connected.
Yeah.
And there's something going on, and I don't know what it is.
I think all the theories are all right. And they're all wrong. Like, if you ever hear quantum physics, or I don't know a lot about it, but just the little, like, documentaries I've watched, is like, every possibility that could possibly ever be happening is all simultaneously occurring somehow, somewhere. So that if that's the case, then, like, it's all right and it's all wrong.
Bro, how crazy is that?
Yeah.
Like, I was watching like some quantum physics video, and it was talking about like Schrodinger's cat, and like he created that to illustrate how crazy quantum physics is, because it's like, okay, let's say there's the decay of an atom or something. Basically, in quantum physics, they're able to prove that the atom is both decaying and not decaying simultaneously.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, it's doing both.
It's a mind fuck.
It's crazy. So he's like, okay, let's say there's a gas connected to whether the atom is decaying or not decaying. And let's say when it decays, it releases the gas, and there's a cat inside the box. So when the box is closed, it's doing both. So he's like, the cat is simultaneously alive and dead.
Yeah.
And then when you open the box, the observer actually influences the
consciousness of it.
How crazy is that shit?
Yeah.
Where they're like, dude, we'll do a test on a molecule, and whether it's being observed or not will impact the test.
Yeah.
So how does that happen?
Yeah. Also, they
on,
did this thing where they were shooting like atoms through little slits. It was like one
Yeah,
piece,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
it
yeah.
split. If you watched it,
Yeah.
and then it, like
It was behaving as a wave and a particle
yes,
simultaneously.
yes.
And it's like, how is that possible? Like, what is going on? You learn all this shit, and then all of a sudden they're like, nah, it's all.
That's the thing. So that goes back to what you said. Like, humility is like, bro, right when you think you know it all, you know nothing.
Yeah.
So why just be humble,
Yeah.
because right when you think you are who you think you are, you ain't.
Yeah.
Or whatever you think you're entitled to, you ain't. It gets taken away.
Does it transcend in other parts of your life where like it keeps you honest? Like do you ever feel guilty? Like if you do
All the time.
something wrong and during the day, and you're like,
I think that's the source of a lot of my anxiety, is if I feel guilty about stuff, whether it's guilty of stuff I've currently done or done in the past, or I think that's the form of where I get anxiety from. It's like, it just feels nasty having that on my mind, on my heart.
Interesting.
You know?
Yeah, I feel that way about like lying. Like, I hate lying.
I don't like it.
Because straight up, like, I will sometimes.
It happens.
And afterwards, I walk away and I'm like,
dude, it sucks.
yo, I got to call them up and be like, yo, my bad.
Yeah, it
'Cause
happens.
It truly, like, makes me feel sick.
Queasy.
Bro, if it's a big one, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't live like this.
Yeah. And there's just certain things in life that just like, bro, I don't got a heart to be straightforward on that one. But, like, it's just, I don't know. It sucks, but nobody's perfect. But damn, dude, if you ask me, whatever you want to use it as a label, God, the universe, higher power, creator, whatever, I'm telling you, bro, you talk to him or them, God, I don't even like to put gender to it. I just, God.
Yeah,
you know what
force.
I mean? The force. If you talk to it, the force, I don't like referring to it as it either, but the force is listening. I'm telling you. Telling you, if you go into it with an open mind, not just already, well, let me see if this so-called God really works. I'll talk to him. Hey, God, how you doing? Then, nope, see, it didn't work. Like, if you already going with a shut mind, you're not gonna go. If you just open. Like, all right, whatever, let me just give this a real, college effort, college try,
Are there things in the journey that without your relationship with God, you don't think you would have got through?
Of course. I mean, how could I?
Like what?
Just like my knee injury, for instance, like the fact that I kept relying on prayer, strength, confidence, like, let me get through this, let me bounce back. I've seen tons of people also get the same injury and never come back the same and completely disappear and career falls apart. And that was it, but the belief that I know that a force has my back made me feel strong. Like, I got my big brother, if kids are making fun of you and you want to bring your big brother to, get you back, like that type of thing. Like God has my back. So like, I could do this. That's just what it feels like to me. And, so that gets me through that, and maybe even if I didn't believe, just because you don't believe something's true doesn't mean it's still not there. You know what I mean? Like, you could have told someone 20 years ago, 30 years ago that like, I could call somebody on a camera and do like this. And that's bullshit.
Yeah.
But dude, it's real.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like you could have told somebody back in the day about electricity and like, no, that ain't true. It's wives' tale. Like just because I don't know, I'm going on a tangent, but whether you believe or not, these forces are still
still around you, and it's still powerful. 100%.
Yeah, whether you choose to communicate with the force or not,
that's up to you.
The force still governs everything you do.
Yeah.
The only thing you can control, I think, is your mindset.
Yeah.
It's your outlook on life or how you respond or react to what happens to you in life. I think that's the only thing you have control of. Right? Like even like, I can control scratching my forehead right now. But can you?
Yeah.
Could you have controlled that your heart beated long enough for you to do that? Could you control that you didn't get in a car crash on the way here and died? Can you control that you woke up from your sleep last night? What can you really? Your hair, my hair, like we can't even control it if it grows or doesn't grow. It just keeps going. It just hopefully.
It's probably a cool way to like connect with your kids too. Like that there's an answer for a lot of things. Like your daughter can ask you questions and you're like, yo, that's God. That's like
every time I still on her before she's thank God. Yeah, because that food is not entitled to you just because we're used to it being at a conveniently accessed.
There's a lot of people on earth that don't have it. A lot of people in history, most people in history didn't have access.
And they didn't have choice of what it was. It was you got what you got. If you hunt, you eat what you killed, or you brought back to the tribe what you brought back. They couldn't say like, "Nah, I don't want steak today."
Yeah,
I want pasta. Yeah, like you didn't have that choice. Like, bro, like this is crazy that we like could just do that. Imagine if you could bring somebody who lived there to this, and
I think about that.
It'd be they'd probably have so much anxiety. Like, this is crazy. You guys are all insane. What does it matter with you people? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you seem grateful though. You seem
course.
really grateful. Like,
so grateful.
Bro, I was talking to my girl about this the other day. I was like, do you ever think about how crazy it is that any of this is happening? I was like, okay, just the odds of you getting born.
Yeah.
1 in a billion or whatever the fuck. Like, okay, so the odds that you were the sperm that made it to the egg.
You're already a winner. You're a born winner.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Champion.
Now, you happen to get born in a time that's pretty good. I got born in the 90s. That's in human history. That's pretty good.
Rad.
So I'm like, okay, I got born in a good time. I got born in a cool country. I got born in America, dude. Or actually, I was born in Paris. But I grew,
still.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool.
Still though.
And so like, but I grew up in America, and that's amazing. I'm like, okay, the odds of that already are 0.00000. I'm like, okay, nice. I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, well.
I'm born into a good like neighborhood, to a good family. I'm like, the odds of that are now even smaller, dude. Like, I'm born without like a major physical ailment. The odds of that are even small. Like, you look at like privilege and shit in America. Like, I'm born as a white dude. Like, that gives you benefits. Like, that's like the odds of any of this are just so tiny. And then on top of all that, I get to tell jokes for money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you're talking about the smallest odds of anything ever.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. You get to skate.
Yeah.
Like,
But even think of it this way, like all that stuff, it's insane, right? But like, that makes me realize that it's really all about mindset. Like, it's all relative, right? Like, think about somebody who's might be watching this, like, yeah, well, you're just saying that because your life doesn't suck. My life sucks because of I was born in this shitty situation. I was born poor, or my parents were gone, and this. Totally, I'm not saying that people are born in fucked up situations
100%.
for sure, especially coming from the reference point of people like you and I who like were born in very fortunate situations.
Dude.
You can look at some and be like, damn, dude, how was I so lucky? But even in any situation you're born in, and I would like to think that maybe I always had this built in me that no matter what situation I was born in, I would like to think that I would still find the positive in it, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because we could equally both just look around, find the shitty shit about our life. Yep. We just don't choose to. Not, at least not predominantly.
There are shitty things, of course.
Sure. We all have shitty moments, shitty experiences, things that happened to us that were horrible. But that's not what we're focused on.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of people who were born in really dire circumstances and became really amazing, great people, and rose up, helped a lot of people, and did a lot for the world. The only way they could have done that is if they decide to look at the situation they're in. How can I better it? How can I be better from it? And I really believe that, like, getting forward and growing and bettering yourself can only come from a grateful mindset. You can't expect anything better to happen for you if you already don't care for the shit you have now. Or if you're not already grateful or thankful for the shit you have now. Not, like, if you're already, because that just shows that your mindset is looking in the wrong direction, the wrong momentum, you know. So like, I don't know. It's all relative. Whatever situation you're born in, whatever you're going through, like, I think there's always something you can find, something to be grateful. It's a good exercise. Even if you're having the worst day, you're like, you can still, all right, hold on, having a shitty day, this happened or whatever, or going through a real rough time, but like, okay, I'm alive. Okay,
that's huge.
The people I love are alive, or maybe you know, like, or you know, I ate food today. Okay, whatever it is, you know, like the sun's shining. That's cool. I have running water, or you know, and whatever you say, there's something. If you don't think there's one thing to be grateful for, that is actually the problem.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I look at that like, because I'll even look at like my dad, for example. He was born in like a poor family, Montreal, like straight up like shoes with like holes that he's taping up in the winter time, like feet freezing, like bad situation. But he had like a mindset where he was grateful, and he was like, dude, I get to be born in a good time, in a good country, and I get a chance to like work hard. Like, and he would look back in history and he's like, most people that ever existed would kill to be me. Like, most people that ever existed, 99% of the people on the planet that ever have been here would want to be a poor kid in Canada today. And he was like, dude, that's amazing. And so he worked hard and made his way, moved to America and made a life for himself. And it started really from like that mindset. So of course, there's people that are born in shitty situations. People are born in the shittiest situation. Like, I couldn't even imagine like how painful it is. Yeah. But like you said, like there's always something to focus on. Like, just because the improbability of any of this shit is crazy. Just to be alive on the planet right now, for I would say most people, like throughout human history, this is a pretty good time. Even just to be born is statistically improbable. So just statistically, you're already winning the game. Yeah. So stop looking at like all the things that might not be working out, but just there's a gratitude for like, yo, I'm breathing, I'm alive, I have life. It's
big, bro. Gratitude to change your life, man.
You ever heard that theory, like medieval lords, like there's an economist that did a study looking at like medieval lords in like 1500s, 1600s, some shit in England, like living in like a castle in like, you know, Scotland or some shit, would more than likely trade lives with someone living in like,
because they were getting offed on the weekly, the monthly.
Yeah, bro.
I went and did the London Tower tour in London, and just all the like the kings and the betrayals and the conspiracies and this, and it happens today. It happens today because we get on autopilot, bro. We're like trying to chase money and power and fame or whatever it is you're trying to chase, and you're completely lost on like what you're even chasing it for. Were you chasing money and power because you think it's gonna make you happy?
Nope.
Yeah, it's gonna make me happy. Did you know that you can just already be happy now?
Yeah, for free.
Did you know that happiness is a choice?
Yeah.
Now, if you're already practicing at being happy and grateful, if and when you finally get that money, it's going to actually amplify your happiness and your gratitude because you're already trained that way. But if you're already a negative person making bad, horrible decisions, money's only going to amplify that in you as well.
Yeah,
Money's just an amplifier of what you already are.
Yeah, of course. And having money is great and all, and like having no money and being full of debt is typically not a great situation to be in. But having a terrible mindset on top of it isn't going to help.
Well, that means you're never going to get out of it.
Yeah.
If you don't have a mindset, you're never going to get out of it.
Yeah.
If you have a mindset, it's like, yo, I'm a proactive mindset, a solution-based mindset, a question-asking mindset, that's the best chance you have of getting out of that situation.
Yeah.
If you're already just throwing the towel, fuck it, bullshit, life shitted on me, everyone fucking hates me, life sucks, blah, blah, blah. Well, dude, you're going to stay that way.
Yeah. I mean, for real. But like, think about a medieval lord, right? He lives his whole life. Everyone's trying to kill him. Everyone's trying to get his money. He's living in like a cold castle. Like this shit has no AC, no heat. That shit is just cold and like damp and shit all day.
Spooky as hell. It's gotta be spooky.
For sure haunted. Not even a question. There's ghosts everywhere. You're like, you got your grand uncle like looking at you while you're naked. Like, yeah, that shit sucks. And then like your kid dies of like cholera.
Yeah. And
then you have 3 other kids. They all die of like rickets or what, like some shit that's not even real, some Oregon Trail diseases. And you're like, damn, life is hard. Even though I am the most well-off person that's alive today. Life is hard. And if you gave them a chance to be like, hey, do you want to switch with like a middle-class person living in like Idaho right now? They got like a 2-bedroom house, heating, AC, modern medicine. Yeah. They'd be like, yeah, dude.
Yeah, please.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have to worry about like the Mongols or something, like just killing me in my sleep or whoever. Like, there's a warring tribe gonna put an arrow in my head.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown, bro.
Yeah,
like,
dude. And then if you're like a feudal serf living like within a walled city, of course you would change with anyone in America today.
Yeah, it's not even a question.
Right? Like, just looking at that perspective, you're like, dude, I'm doing better than King Henry.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude.
King Henry don't know nothing about that
sushi
know this I just ate before I came here.
Dude, he's never even had sushi, bro. Yeah. Has King Henry had sushi? Be honest.
King Henry never even heard Nas before.
Yo, that's a good-ass point, dude. He didn't hear the Black Album. He never even heard of Jay-Z.
They never heard the Beatles.
Dude, literally, King Henry died. Illmatic wasn't even thought of.
No, not for hundreds of years.
Think about that, dude. That sucks.
Yeah.
He's listening to trash music.
He's listening to the court jester playing the harp or something.
Mid.
Weak.
Dude, get some bars, rap a little, like do a diss track, something.
Yeah,
like that shit sucks.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there all day. I mean, yeah, his life's like not even compared.
Don't even get me started. He ain't even seen Forrest Gump.
Dude, what is the point of living?
Yeah, don't even get me started, man.
It's not even worth living. And then you got to think about you now, though. Because now, fast forward another 500 years, you would trade places with like the most mid person 500 years from now.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming that theory is going to stand true, but at the same time, dude, like, it doesn't seem too bad. Right? Like,
right now?
Yeah. You know, I'm sure things have, but maybe I would. Maybe like being used to this 500 years from now, maybe I wouldn't like it. Maybe I wouldn't like where we went.
Yo, maybe.
Maybe like, you guys don't go outside no more? You guys don't move your body no more? You guys are just like floating.
Yeah, you're an uploaded consciousness.
What was that movie? Yeah, exactly. You're just like,
yeah.
Like
AI does everything? You don't even
like
think?
half-breed computer or something or other.
Singularity,
I don't know.
like hybrid shit?
Or what if they figure out how to be immortal?
Yo, that's sketchy. I don't know if we should do that, bro.
That's my point is, what if they figure out how to be immortal and you're like, guys, maybe the fact that we die is because there's something doper after this and you're never going to go.
Bro, how wild is that?
You just locked yourself. Oh, shit, that was going to fall. You just locked yourself in hell.
Dude.
You know what I mean? Like,
bro, there's got to be a movie about that.
Like, what if, like, bro, like you were clearly in that other realm prior to entering this body.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was good or bad, but like I don't have any bad memories. You know what I mean? But like,
that seems fine.
Yeah.
But what if you're not even? What if you weren't even in the other realm before you got born? What if there is truly another realm after your soul exists? So what if there is some way more fire shit after this? And then all of a sudden, imagine this movie where you're the last person to get to heaven. And you pull up and you're like,
Whoa.
yo, what's up, everybody? I'm here. And they're like, dude, we've been waiting for you. And there's 3 more people coming right now. And you're like, no way, who's coming? And you turn around and no one's there. And then you're like, yo, I thought more people were coming. And they're like, yeah, we thought so too. But
They all chose to stay there.
they just figured out immortality and you're having the best time. And you're just looking at them on Earth.
Yeah, the crazy part is,
Bro.
if you think about it, you already are immortal.
Okay, here we fucking
Just
go.
give this thing up, dude. It's like that's like me trying to wear the same shirt I wore since preschool. Like, bro, give it up. Get rid of that old raggedy thing.
Yeah.
Put on a fresh one.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
like this body gonna get old and decrepit, whatever. We become immortal. They figure out cellular structure. You can stay the same age you are.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. But you don't think after like 30, 40, 50, 60, 100, 200 years more of doing the same shit, you're going to get bored as fuck. My theory is, I'm going to go back to that immortal thing, but my theory is if people start becoming immortal, after a certain period of being immortal, you're going to start seeing crazy suicides, mass suicides.
Oh, yeah.
People are like, bro, that was a big mistake. I got to go.
Bro, it's been 500 years. Like, I'm
Yeah,
good.
I
dude.
got to go. This
Yeah,
is crazy.
I'm
There's got to
tired,
be
dude.
more than this.
Yeah.
Just eating, sleeping, shitting. Okay, there's got to be more. This
I've
is
done
crazy.
everything. I've
Yeah.
visited every place.
Yeah.
I've met like, I've done everything.
They're gonna
I'm
start
500
offing
years old.
themselves. Yeah, like
Yeah.
just it's gonna be crazy. But
Because life is amazing, but like there might be some other shit, dude.
yeah, but going back to that, was it quantum physics maybe? But you'll know about this. You seem to be really knowledgeable about a lot of stuff. But we already are immortal. Dude, the scientists have proven to show that energy doesn't dissipate. It doesn't go. It like energy never. What's the word I'm looking for?
Newton's second law is never gets created or destroyed.
Yeah, you're always there, dude. You're just
Going
like,
somewhere.
yeah. You're always.
Low-key reincarnation would be a cool vibe.
Who's to say we aren't already?
Yeah, but like you get to come back as like a beaver. Low-key, that'd be kind of fun, I feel like.
I'd want to be like a bald eagle or something that doesn't have predators.
Yeah, I mean flying would be cool. But even having predators, who knows? Maybe that's a part of it. Maybe you're just like, yo, I build dams and I'm doing beaver stuff and I got my beaver kids.
Yeah.
And then I just get picked off one and that's what it is, and that's cool. Like what if that's a part of it? Like,
I mean, who's to say we haven't?
right?
Yeah, maybe we have.
Yeah, I mean Shub is over there, the Indian. He's like, finally, the whites are getting it.
No, I don't. Yeah, I believe that's.
That would be a cool vibe though. Like if you get to come back, you just get to do some eagle stuff sometimes.
But what if like, because we think of it because we're on this planet and so forth. Like, what if it's not even Earth related? What if you come back somewhere else? Somewhere else in the universe or in the galaxies or wherever? It's all made of the same stuff. We're all ultimately made of the same stardust that's 13.8 billion years old.
Yeah.
So like, who's to say you won't end up in some other galaxy far, far away with Chewbacca?
Bro,
I don't know. Like,
I mean, imagine that though. Like, because like, there's got to be aliens, right? Like,
bro, I can't fathom how there's not other beings. Like we call them aliens, but like to them we are the aliens. So like, bro, like how can nothing else in this whole infinite whatever you want to call it, how can there be no other intelligent life, bro? It's impossible.
you think it's smart?
Do I think it's smart?
Yeah.
What?
Like, do you think it's like us, like intelligent, or do you think it's like maybe there's like a space dog?
Maybe some of them are. Maybe some of them aren't. Maybe we're further along, evolved than some of them in their point in their world's creation, or maybe some are much further than us in our world's creation. I don't know. Maybe some are, some aren't. Maybe some are enlightened beings. Maybe some aren't. Maybe some are. Maybe what we might call aliens. Because I've been seeing people coming out and they've been talking about it more and more. But like. Maybe they're like future people from the future, or maybe they're from the past. Maybe they're
interdimensional.
Yeah, maybe it's all. I don't know. I literally, my brain gets to the point where it's like, maybe it's all of it.
Yeah, dude. Well, that's what I was talking to this dude last week. The episode actually just came out today, but he was saying like he's like a big UFO researcher, and he was like, I think it's possible all of them could be happening at once.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, imagine there's aliens coming from a different planet, okay? That could be happening. Imagine there's interdimensional beings. That could be happening. What if there's spiritual beings?
Yeah.
That could be happening. Yeah. And what if they're happening all at the same time and everyone is arguing over which one it is when it could be all of them?
Yeah. Who's the dummies?
Bro.
You know what I mean? Like we are. Like.
But it's like trying to observe animals and imagine we didn't know any animals exist, and
you
see
think
a
they're
dog,
monsters.
and I see an eagle and I'm like, dude, animals fly.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, they don't. They run. And I'm like, no, dude. but we're looking at two different animals.
Right. Yeah. Or even think back further, like back in the day, like in the Bible days, you know, like they only could describe the words based off of stuff that they saw in their existence.
Of
Like
course.
they're talking about chariots of fire coming out of the sky or this and that. Like that's just what they only had to compare it to. What we might call a jet plane now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is what if you saw it back then, or like, you know, when the Egyptians were building the pyramids and say there was other beings or whatever, like the way you would describe it would be based off of the vocabulary you had at that time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So like,
bro, in Ezekiel they talk about the wheel inside the wheel. You ever heard of this?
Whoa, no.
There's like a big thing in the Bible. If you look at it, I think it's Ezekiel, but they always talk about the wheel inside the wheel, and it basically came down from heaven and like delivered angels or some shit like that. And people always point to it because they're like, a wheel inside a wheel. What does that sound like? Flying saucer. Whoa, a wheel inside a wheel. Literally, it's a thing with another thing on the outside spinning around.
Yeah,
flying saucer. And so like, dude, aliens in the Bible,
bro.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah, but I'm
like,
you
what's
can
an
easily
angel?
see how that could be considered an angel, and maybe it is an angel. It's just,
what if it's all the same thing?
You know what's fucking us up? It's just the label. The label of it is fucking us up.
Yeah.
If you would just say, "Oh, the thing with the people, the thing with the things,"
you
that
gotta
came
talk
out.
like Spanish Mike.
Yeah.
Hey, this
cool.
fucking guy
The
shows
fucking
up.
thing with the thing, you know? Come.
He's being so loud. I'm like, hey, I'm trying to sleep.
Yeah.
My kid's inside. Can you fucking keep it down with your fucking wheel and a wheel?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
But if you mix it up, like, you call that a fucking wheel and wheel?
Yeah, I'll show you a wheel and a wheel.
Yeah, I call that a flying washing machine.
Yeah,
What are you
fucking
talking
flying
about?
dickhead up
Yeah,
there.
yeah, like a wheel and a wheel. Like, yeah, it's just like you fucking dummy. That's a spaceship.
Yeah,
Give me a
yeah.
spaceship. That's clearly a wheel with a wheel.
Bro.
And you're both not wrong. But it's
you
just
gotta
like,
go see the pyramids, dude.
oh, I want to really
What do you think's
bad.
going on with that?
Some really interesting
Some wild
stuff.
shit, bro.
Yeah.
You don't need to do mushrooms, by the way.
I saw this.
You are mushroom. Like you are it.
I saw this dude recently talking about it briefly on Instagram. I forget it exactly, so this might be even silly to bring it up, but like he was saying that he was reincarnated and he was from the time of the Egyptian pyramids, and he was explaining how the pyramids were being built.
Oh shit.
They used water, pressure of the water to float the blocks. They had understood how to like you know, the mechanics and whatever to do it and place it in like the water. I guess they figure out how to bring the water to float it up and get into place. Something he was describing it somewhat of that nature. I probably butchered that.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's fucking interesting. And
Crazy, right?
and I'm like, part of me is saying like, maybe that's true. Like, why? Like, I just think like automatically saying nope, that can't happen is just like pointless.
Yeah, especially me. I'm like, who am I to say no? I don't know shit about Egypt.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about engineering.
Yeah,
That's all jokes,
no.
bro. If you tell me something's a joke that's not a joke, then I'll say no. But everything else, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, dude, we were talking to this guy who was giving us all these different theories about the pyramids because he was saying like, his name is Ben Van Kerkwijk.
Never.
He's like a researcher.
How do you spell that?
I'll send you a link. He's a researcher. We also had Graham Hancock on, who has a Netflix show, Ancient Apocalypse, where it's like, have you heard of this?
I have.
He's basically like, there was a massive cataclysmic event that happened like 12,500 years ago, 12,500 BC, that reset the shape of the world. And there was like technology that was lost in this cataclysmic event. But he's like, look at the pyramids.
They could have already been way further ahead of us technologically wise, and we had to start over.
That's what he says. Graham Hancock was kind of saying that there was like potentially like spiritual technology that they were in touch with that maybe we don't even know about.
Yeah.
He's like, they potentially were doing psychedelics, ayahuasca, communicating with interdimensional beings, learning shit, building stuff based off of what they were learning through these like trips and psychedelic experiences, and then using the pyramids as a way to like communicate with these beings that exist beyond us.
Or maybe these beings did the Men in Black thing with us. Cataclysmic event happened, blah, 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 this happened, boom, 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 boom. And then they just, started life from base, and they forgot everything they knew before, and then just life started. And then they're behind the scenes right now, just like, we're the experiment, or maybe, like, I don't know.
But he points at, like, all this, like, geographical stuff, where he's like the Scablands out west, I think, where he's like, dude, this couldn't have been made through, like, millions of years of erosion. This is, like, one moment of like massive glaciers like ripping through the earth, piercing through it with like billions of pounds of force that you couldn't even fathom, just cutting the earth in half.
It's crazy.
And he's like, one event that like floods you couldn't imagine, like just this massive asteroid impact that changed the entire landscape of Earth. And he points out, like, dude, look at how many asteroids have hit the world throughout history. Like right now we're in kind of like a period where there's not that many asteroids.
That's cool.
This is what he was saying, right? Like that's super
good
convenient.
to know. Yeah.
But he's like, that's part of the reason we're able to advance so strong technologically.
So we don't keep getting taken
We're
out.
not getting reset. Where he was pointing out, he's like, there was a time when our Earth was floating through like an asteroid belt on the other side of the fucking whatever universe, I don't know. And he was like, we were getting hit with asteroids all the time, and life was turbulent. And as a result, shit was just happening, and it was harder to like build up agrarian societies, all this stuff.
The universe was changing the channel.
Bro, for real.
Oh, this channel comes on. Oh,
Next.
dinosaurs come out next. Asteroid next. Oh, people are cool. Next.
Bro, but how crazy are dinosaurs even?
Yeah.
That they were just like walking around.
Roman.
Dude, so big.
Yeah.
Just like doing
And
dinosaur
who knows,
shit.
they were probably roaming this earth longer than humans have been alive now. They might have been here for who knows how long.
And now they're just gone?
Just gone.
Just like that. Every dinosaur that every you've ever known.
No, that's not true.
Alligators.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still kicking.
You know
That is a
stuff.
dinosaur, bro. You ever see an alligator?
Beetles too, right? Aren't like beetles or something been around since then
Probably.
or some shit?
Probably. I guess there's a couple of them. But wait, so did alligators not get exploded?
I guess.
Like they just like thugged it out?
I mean, they're there.
Yeah, I guess.
But
right?
also, it could just be like, some guy in some fancy outfit who we deem as a scientist could just be telling you that. Yeah, he's a dinosaur. Yeah, he's still here.
Yeah, yeah, right. Like, what does a dinosaur even mean?
I don't know what's true and what's not.
That's
but-
what I'm saying, dude. Like in the skate world, you might be a dinosaur, bro.
Oh, I for sure am. That is a fact.
Dude.
But
P-Rod.
great convo.
This is fun, dude.
This
Thank
is
you so
great.
much, brother.
I want to continue this.
Yeah,
This
dude.
is
Let's
good.
do
We
it.
can
We'll,
go on
when,
and on
when,
with this.
When you come back, we'll solve all the world's problems, all right?